an amazing compilation of 527 facts? Subscribe to Zarpado. We're already starting. The world's oldest tree isn't a towering giant. It's called Methuselah, a bristlecone pine over 4,800 years old, living in some secret location in California's White Mountains to protect it. Its seeds were already there when the Egyptians built the pyramids, making it a silent witness to human history. And speaking of trees, squirrels, despite their reputation as excellent foragers, are responsible for planting thousands of trees each year. This is because they bury their nuts and acorns and simply forget where they put them. And if you think that's weird, imagine an Argentine duck with a penis as long as its body. Or the fact that some species of chicken can naturally change sex if a female's ovary is damaged and the dormant male sex organ is activated. Crocodiles not only cry, but their crying is a physiological response when saliva accumulates in their tear ducts while they eat. This is why the saying crocodile tears became popular to refer to hypocrisy. A fun fact about saliva: it contains a substance called opioorphin, which is a painkiller up to 6 times more potent than morphine. Although the amount is minuscule, it is a reminder of the incredible pharmacy that is our own body. Ketchup, now a staple condiment, was sold in the 19th century as a medicine to treat indigestion and diarrhea. And speaking of food, the oldest cheese in the world was found in an Egyptian tomb and is over 3,200 years old. It was made from sheep and goat milk. On the other hand, it is a myth that bulls are enraged by the color red. In fact, they are colorblind. What irritates them is the constant movement of the cape. Some famous inventions were accidental. French fries, for example, were born out of annoyance. A chef in France, fed up with a customer complaining that his fries were too thick, sliced them as thin as he could and fried them until crispy. The result is a culinary success that endures to this day. Outer space is an inexhaustible source of wonder. A single cumulus cloud, those fluffy white clouds we see in the sky, can weigh as much as 80 elephants, and lightning, despite being so brief, has colossal energy. A single bolt has enough energy to toast 1,000,000 slices of bread. Gravity also has its strange effects. In space, astronauts can't cry because tears don't fall. They float in a ball around their eyes, causing incredible irritation. And in terms of time, the Earth does not take exactly 24 hours to rotate on its axis, but rather 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4 seconds, which is known as a sidereal day. Did you know that Bic pens were invented by Marcel Bitch, who dropped the H from his last name so it wouldn't be misinterpreted as a rude word in English? In Poznan, Poland, the Poznan Ice Festival turns the market square into a frozen stage. Artists from around the world carve sculptures from blocks of ice in front of the public. It's an unmissable visual experience that attracts locals and tourists alike. Continuing with the modern trend, there's an experiment that has bus drivers pedaling bicycles while a bus passes nearby. This allows them to experience firsthand how dangerous it is to fail to maintain distance from cyclists. In art, Tanya Gomelskaya stands out, an artist who fuses painting and sculpture to create 3-dimensional works. Her pieces stand out from the canvas, explore emotions like anxiety, and play with surreal textures. For motorcyclist safety, there's a windshield wiper for helmets. This small, electric, rechargeable device removes water from the visor and improves visibility in adverse weather conditions. Technology has also reached body art with LED tattoos. These luminous designs use microcircuits and sensors to interact with the body, responding to movement or heart rate, and are emerging as aesthetic and medical tools. Pure adrenaline is experienced in the sphere of death, where motorcyclists perform stunts inside a spherical metal structure. Thanks to centrifugal force, they defy gravity as they cross paths without colliding. Meet Benjamin Shine, an artist who works magic with tulle. His sculptures and portraits are born from the simple folding and ironing of fabric, exploring themes such as energy and spirituality. He has collaborated with Maison Margiela and exhibited in museums around the world. The CH-47 Chinook is a twin-rotor military helicopter with an astonishing payload capacity, up to about 22,000 pounds, ideal for transporting troops and equipment in difficult terrain. More interesting facts. Janus, the tortoise, who has two heads, was born with a condition called bicephaly. Although they share a shell, both heads can act independently. Its name comes from the two-faced Roman god. A total inspiration is Adriana Macias, a Mexican speaker and writer who was born without arms. She uses her feet to perform everyday tasks and motivates others with her message of achievement, empowerment, and self-love. And if we're talking about risk, human cannonball Luis Muñoz launches himself from a cannon without gunpowder, using compressed air. This act requires precision and extreme physical training. One of the most impressive attractions in the circus. Advancing in extreme technology, the Terminator robot combines canine form with surveillance functions. It is equipped with cameras, motion sensors, and even a flamethrower. Perfect for patrolling difficult areas, it moves with agility and transmits data in real time. And speaking of photos, Claudio Piccoli is an Italian photographer who specializes in capturing dogs in motion. Internationally recognized, he shares images full of energy and emotion. He also teaches his technique through workshops and online courses. In a fusion of culture and pop art, the Pokémon X Koge exhibition unites the Pokémon universe with traditional Japanese techniques. Ceramics, weaving, and goldsmithing combined with Pikachu and company. The result is a fusion of the contemporary and the ancestral that celebrates Japanese creativity. Returning to the animal kingdom, the teacup pig is a miniature version of traditional pigs. Weighing no more than about 66 pounds, they win hearts with their cuteness. They are intelligent and trainable, but require special care to maintain their health and well-being. From West Africa, the Zangbeto dance blends the spiritual with the artistic. These traditional guardians twirl in conical straw costumes, completely obscuring the person who embodies them. Their dances, accompanied by ceremonial music, command respect and mystery. And we conclude with the Abode of the Gods, located in Cusco, Peru. This sculptural space pays tribute to the Incan worldview with monumental figures carved in stone. Created by artist Michael de Titan, it unites contemporary art with mystical Andean landscapes. Moving from design to entertainment, YouTuber Laser Gadgets created a laser gun that looks like something out of a science fiction movie. The most incredible thing is that it can burst balloons using a powerful blue beam. In the automotive world, Luis Rodriguez, a fan from New Jersey, created a full-scale Hot Wheels car to celebrate the brand's 50th anniversary. He spent over a year building the body entirely by hand. In Switzerland, the Animal robot was designed by engineers from ETH Zurich and BIC. This quadruped can walk or roll depending on the terrain, overcoming obstacles like nothing. Meanwhile, an artist called Rescue and Restore restored a rusty clown bench, removing every trace of deterioration. The result was as shocking as it was terrifying, because the clown is still terrifying. But if you prefer something visually beautiful, Tobias Gremler digitized the kung fu movements to transform them into abstract figures using motion capture technology. A pure visual spectacle. Continuing with technology, Ian Davis created his own metallic-looking myoelectric prosthesis. Inspired by Terminator, he designed a hand capable of moving fingers and producing mechanical sounds when flexed. Meanwhile, Sylvia, a contestant on America's Got Talent, stunned everyone by firing a crossbow at her own head. And the best part? She hit the block. Taking to the streets of Frankfurt, athlete Jason Paul performed a reverse parkour course. The Red Bull team then edited the shots to create an illusion that defies logic. Now, have you ever seen a crack filled with people? Spanish artist Pajac drew thousands of human figures to simulate a break in the facade of the Marqués de Valdecilla Hospital in Santander. It was a symbol of struggle in the midst of the pandemic. Wasps also have their thing. Some species build nests that glow under ultraviolet light. Scientists are still investigating why these insects make such luminous homes. The creator of the human controller designed a Rubik's Cube that can float and solve itself thanks to magnetic fields. It seems like magic, but it's pure engineering. Japanese researchers at Keio University created a robotic tail for humans called Arche. They claim it improves balance, just like in animals. Actor Tom Cruise trained for a full year to perform a scene where he jumps a motorcycle off a cliff in Mission Impossible. And he did it 6 times. In a more bizarre proposal, Danny Hine created an animatronic tricycle with a chainsaw as its base. The robot ride looks like something out of a comedy horror movie. And what happens if you pop a tire about 65 feet under a frozen lake? The Beyond the Press channel tested it, and the result was a unique visual explosion. Matt Tomasello built a skateboard that transforms mid-trick. Its sections twist and spring back into shape, allowing it to perform maneuvers that seem like something out of science fiction. Among the strangest mammals, platypuses are a true anomaly. They are the only venomous mammals. Males have spurs on their hind legs that release a venom potent enough to cause excruciating pain in humans. And if that weren't enough, despite being mammals, they lay eggs. And speaking of animals, ants are a fascinating army. A single battalion of ants can create a living bridge by joining their bodies to span gaps. Furthermore, if you place a piece of cheese in a field, the anteater ants are able to find it without any of them having to touch it. This is because ants have glands on their antennae that can detect the location of a molecule in the air. Space is much more than a vacuum. In space, if 2 pieces of metal with the same composition touch, they will permanently fuse together, a process called cold welding. This happens because there is no oxygen to oxidize the surfaces. The speed of rain on Earth isn't as impressive as the maximum speed at which a raindrop can fall is about 18 miles per hour. Air resistance acts as a brake to prevent projectiles from raining down on us. History is full of moments that seem fabricated. Did you know that the United States $10 bill features a portrait of Alexander Hamilton, who never became president? That's because he was the first Secretary of the Treasury and one of the country's most important founding fathers. Coca-Cola was originally sold as a brain tonic to cure headaches. Its inventor, John Pemberton, a pharmacist, marketed it in 1836. At the time, the drink contained cocaine, but it was removed in 1903, and the chewing gum we know was invented from a substance called chicle, which is the sap of a tree that the Mayans and Aztecs used for chewing. Wedding rings also have a curious history. The ancient Egyptians believed that the ring finger of the left hand had a vein, the vena amoris, or vein of love, that ran directly to the heart. Although modern anatomy has proven this untrue, the tradition has persisted to this day. Humans are the only animals with chins. We're also the only species capable of blushing, a reaction scientists still don't fully understand. It's possible it's related to empathy. And if you thought fingerprints were unique, there's a medical rarity called adermatoglyphia, a genetic condition that causes people to be born without fingerprints. It's extremely rare and is popularly known as immigration disease, as those affected have trouble passing through customs without this biometric identification. Did you know that the iconic Wilhelm scream has appeared in over 400 films? It's a stock sound effect recorded in the 50s and has since been used in films like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Kill Bill for the sound of a character falling or being shot. It's a kind of audio Easter egg for movie lovers. Special effects also have their anecdotes. In the 1975 film Jaws, the famous mechanical shark, nicknamed Bruce, malfunctions so badly during filming that director Steven Spielberg was forced to show it as little as possible. This forced limitation turned out to be a stroke of genius, as the terror of what cannot be seen was much more effective for the audience, creating legendary suspense. And speaking of directors, Alfred Hitchcock had a habit of making a cameo in almost all of his films. His appearance was usually brief, sometimes walking down the street or on a bus, and it became a kind of game for viewers. In one of his most famous films, Rope, instead of appearing in person, his cameo is a silhouette in a neon sign. The Academy Award has a curious history. The gold statuette hasn't always been made of solid metal. During World War II, to support the war effort and due to a metal shortage, the statuettes were made of painted plaster. After the war, winners could exchange their plaster statuettes for metal ones. The name Oscar is also a mystery. The most popular legend is that an Academy secretary, Margaret Herrick, said the statuette resembled her uncle Oscar. Music is often the result of genius, chance, and a bit of madness. The famous Rolling Stones guitarist Keith Richards often sleeps with his guitar. He has said that some of his best riff ideas came from waking up in the middle of the night with a melody in his head. The famous intro to Satisfaction came to him in bed, and he immediately recorded it on a tape recorder, playing and humming the melody. And speaking of sleeping, the Beatles have their own legend. Before becoming world famous, the Beatles spent many years playing in clubs in Hamburg, Germany, where they performed up to 8 hours a night. The extreme exhaustion pushed them toward drug use, but it also gave them incredible resilience and a connection with their audience that honed their talent into something unmatched. The most streamed song in history, at least in streaming, isn't by a pop artist, but a very simple melody. Happy Birthday to You is one of the most famous songs in the world. However, its origins are somewhat complex. It was created by two sisters, Patty and Mildred Hill, as Good Morning to All in 1893. For decades, its lyrics were owned by a company that charged royalties for their use in commercial productions. It wasn't until 2016 that the song was declared in the public domain. On the other hand, the first song to be broadcast on the radio was A Christmas Carol. On December 24, 1906, inventor Reginald Fessenden broadcast a radio program from Massachusetts that included a violin solo by Fessenden himself and a recording of the Christmas carol, O Holy Night. Technology is constantly changing, and its origins are often surprising. The first hard drive in history weighed nearly 2,000 pounds. In 1956, IBM launched its IBM 350 disk file, which was the size of a closet and could store only 5 megabytes of data. Moving it from one place to another required a forklift. The first video games weren't meant to be a form of entertainment. Tennis for Two, created in 1958, was designed for an open house at a physics lab to showcase the potential of computers to people. It was so popular that people would wait in line for hours just to play it. Years later, Steve Jobs didn't think the mouse was a good idea. The mouse was invented by Douglas Engelbart in 1964, but Jobs saw it at the Xerox PARC Research Center in 1979 and popularized it with the Macintosh. However, he initially considered it too expensive. Michelangelo's David sculpture is one of the most famous in the world, but one small detail is often overlooked. David's right hand is disproportionately large. Art historians believe this was not a mistake, but a deliberate decision by Michelangelo to emphasize David's strength, as he was known in the Bible for his strong hand. And finally, the artist Banksy, the world's most famous graffiti artist, is a mysterious figure. His true identity remains a secret, even though his works sell for millions of dollars. His graffiti often appears in unexpected places and is removed or covered up as quickly as they appear, adding even greater value. In 2018, at auction, one of Banksy's works, Girl with Balloon, self-destructed through a hidden mechanism in the frame seconds after selling for $1.4 million. What was thought to be a catastrophe for the buyer actually doubled the work's value. Elsewhere in the world, tuk-tuk races in Sri Lanka take these three-wheeled vehicles over extreme terrain: jungles, rivers, mud, and mountains. Breakdowns are common, so the team must be ready for instant repairs. On a more monumental note, the Northeast Greenland National Park is so vast that it surpasses countries like Venezuela in size. There is no permanent human population, but there are species adapted to the frigid Arctic Circle. And if we're talking about seeing the invisible, the Schlieren system, or lining, allows us to visualize heat or gases that we normally don't perceive. Using mirrors, cameras, and light, it reveals phenomena such as the hot air from a hairdryer in action. Chile was the scene of the most powerful earthquake on record, the Valdivia earthquake in 1960. It reached magnitude 9.5, lasted more than 10 minutes, and was followed by a tsunami that caused thousands of deaths. High in China, the Red Cloud and Golden Summit temples rise atop Fanjing Mountain. To reach them, you must climb 9,000 steps and cross a bridge between peaks. The pygmy marmoset is the smallest monkey on the planet. It weighs just about 4.2 ounces and measures around 5.9 inches, although its tail can be longer. It lives in the Amazon and feeds on plant sap. And yes, the Simpsons house exists. It was built in 1997 in Henderson, Nevada, as an exact replica of the series. Today, it's a private home with more subdued colors and a garden covered in stones. In the world of sports, Julia Vins earned the nickname Muscle Barbie. At just 24, she managed to deadlift about 606 pounds. She is also studying law while preparing for new competitions. Her imposing physique and discipline have made her a global sensation. Richard Oliver, a 5-year-old Los Angeles painter, creates oil landscapes so realistic they look like photographs. His technique originates from the 19th century French Impressionists, blending tones and colors with great skill. Jay, known as Hydra Man, performs choreographed underwater dances for 5 minutes in a roughly 6.6-foot deep pool. His talent has helped propel his booming musical career. The dugong, known as the real-world siren, is a giant, gentle mammal that lives in the Pacific and Indian Oceans. They are peaceful, prefer to be alone or in pairs, and their conservation is vital to the balance of marine ecosystems. Dylan Baylog, nicknamed the Brave Dylan, jumped from a bridge about 148 feet high and lived to tell the tale. Before jumping, he threw rocks into the water to break the surface tension and thus avoid accidents. A Tesla Model S Plaid, the world's fastest electric car, was almost completely submerged in water. Surprisingly, its electric motor runs without the need for air, and the vehicle completed the journey almost like a submarine. Ursula Musch, a German woman living in the Dubai desert, cares for more than 40 camels. Without electricity or water, she has adopted a Bedouin lifestyle and feels closer to her animals than to modern comforts. The Madonna della Corona Church, built in 1530, is located on the slopes of Monte Baldo in Italy. It is a sanctuary suspended between heaven and earth, accessed by paths surrounded by nature that fascinate tourists and worshippers. Jan Hakon Eriksson is an artist who records himself popping balloons in different ways. His work combines creativity and fun, showcasing different objects and techniques for popping balloons. The about 295-foot-long yacht, Olivia, has a futuristic design with an inverted bow. Built in Germany in 2020 by Ulstein, it includes a cinema, swimming pool, gym, spa, and helipad, valued at €200 million. Kyle Marker, at about 6,560 feet high, set fire to his parachute using a flare gun to get an extra adrenaline rush. Fortunately, he had a spare parachute that deployed without a hitch. The Solkan Railway Bridge in Slovenia is the longest stone arch in the world at about 728 feet. Built in 1906 with limestone blocks, it survived damage in World War I and has been fully restored. Hannah Grace, a former professional chef, now creates optical illusions with makeup. She uses shades, tones, and angles to trick the eye and achieve stunning facial designs. In the Middle Ages, spices were a sign of wealth and status. A pound of pepper was sometimes more valuable than gold. Its great value prompted great exploration expeditions, as kingdoms sought new routes to reach the sources of these valuable commodities. Food is more than just food. It has its own stories. For example, Campbell's tomato soup wasn't the company's first product. Initially, they sold canned asparagus. Tomato soup became popular thanks to an executive's ingenious idea, who thought that if he concentrated on it, people could add water to make it at home, making it very affordable. Banana bread arose from a need in the United States. During the Great Depression, housewives didn't want to waste ripe bananas. So they began using the soft, almost rotten bananas to bake bread, which became a staple food of that time. Marshmallow candy has a very different origin than the one we know today. Originally, it was obtained from the roots of the marshmallow plant and used as a medicine to soothe sore throats and inflammation. Only at the end of the 19th century did production become industrialized to make the candies we eat today. In Canada, there is a stunning sculpture, the Veiled Virgin, created by Giovanni Strazza. It is so delicate that the marble looks like a real veil over the Virgin's face. Its realism conveys a sensation of softness that amazes anyone who beholds it. In China, the Harbin Ice and Snow Festival transforms the city into a frozen spectacle. Giant sculptures made from blocks of the Songhua River sparkle with colorful lights. In addition to the figures, artistic competitions, winter sports, and cultural exhibitions are held. Sweet sapphire grapes, also called sapphire grapes, stand out for their elongated shape and almost black skin. Their sweet flavor makes them irresistible. Although they originated in California, they are also cultivated in countries like Italy, Spain, and Australia, thanks to their ideal climates. Sodalite stones appear ordinary at first glance, but under ultraviolet light, they reveal a spectacle of colors. Their glow, thanks to the sodalite, can range from yellow to vibrant red. These stones are highly coveted by collectors for their unique beauty. The giant rhinoceros beetle can measure up to about 6.7 inches. Native to Central and South America, it possesses surprising strength. It can lift about 850 times its weight. Males have a long horn to fight for food or a mate, although they are harmless to humans. Did you know that there are farms dedicated exclusively to raising cockroaches? These facilities are highly controlled in temperature and humidity to optimize reproduction, and their offspring are used in the pharmaceutical, cosmetics, and food industries for their high protein content and medicinal properties. Moving from the laboratory to tradition, countries like Austria, Germany, and Hungary celebrate the Krampus parade, a half-goat, half-demon creature. The streets are filled with characters in terrifying costumes, grotesque masks, and torches, creating a chilling yet festive atmosphere. And if we travel even further back in time, we find Anubis, the Egyptian god of death. With a human body and the head of a jackal, he guided souls to the final judgment and protected mummification rituals, being a central figure in beliefs about the afterlife. In a very different setting, silent parties are silent parties, where each attendee listens to music through wireless headphones. They can choose different music channels and dance without disturbing the neighbors, a blend of technology and urban fun. Gaitas are traditional Japanese sandals associated with the Tengu, mythical creatures from Japanese folklore. Unlike ordinary sandals, they have a single central prong, which requires great balance when walking. Made of wood and with fabric straps, they were originally used to strengthen stability and strength, but today they are more of a cultural symbol than practical footwear. The golden scarab beetle shines as if plated in gold. Its transparent exoskeleton reflects light so intensely that it changes hue depending on its emotion or the angle of the light. This ability makes it an expert at camouflaging itself among leaves and branches. Andrew Scott transforms flat drawings into three-dimensional art that seems to come to life. His hyper-realistic works travel the internet, leaving everyone speechless. Each stroke is striking in its detail, and the light that seems to burst from the paper. Taxidermy transforms dead animals into lifelike figures. It requires anatomical precision and sculptural skill to restore a skin filled with foam or wire to its original form. Museums and collections use it to preserve species, as if time had stood still. The Libyan International Building in Guiyang, China, looks like something out of a science fiction movie. An about 354-foot artificial waterfall cascades down its facade, fed by recycled water. It's only activated during special events, but its visual spectacle impresses everyone. On the other hand, Wagyu beef is distinguished by its perfect marbling. Originating in Japan and from breeds like the Kuroge, this meat melts in your mouth. It contains beneficial unsaturated fats, and the cattle are raised with extreme care to ensure its premium quality. Speaking of unusual things, Eduardochi is a creation by KFC Spain that blends 90s nostalgia with modern marketing. It's a Tamagotchi shaped like a chicken thigh that you can manage from your phone. This idea connects with millennials and Gen Z through humor and memories. The Oxford English Dictionary is the largest book in the world. Published in 20 volumes, each containing more than 1,000 pages, it took more than 70 years to complete with the help of thousands of volunteers. Sports are an inexhaustible source of stories. Ping pong, or table tennis, has a rather unusual origin. It was invented in Victorian England as a form of indoor tennis. The paddles were corks and the ball was a celluloid ball. The famous Ice Bucket Challenge was not a simple internet game. Despite seeming like a fad, it helped the Amyotrophic Lateral Sclerosis Association raise more than $115 million in 2014. The challenge caught on so quickly that in just a couple of months, it became a global movement. The most viewed video in YouTube history for a long time wasn't a pop song. It was Baby Shark, a children's song. Its viral success demonstrates the immense power of the platform's child audience, surpassing videos from artists like Justin Bieber and Ed Sheeran and reaching billions of views. The first viral video in history is considered to be Dancing Baby from 1996. It was a 3D animation of a baby dancing to a blue suede song. Despite the video quality being very low, its popularity spread through internet forums and emails before modern social media existed. Memes are a form of expression in modern culture. Although they seem like a recent phenomenon, the concept was coined by evolutionary biologist Richard Dawkins in 1976 in his book, The Selfish Gene. He defined it as a unit of cultural information that spreads from person to person. The Guinness World Record for the world's tallest person is held by Sultan Kosen of Turkey, who stands at about 8 feet 3 inches tall. His height is due to a medical condition called acromegaly, which causes excessive production of growth hormone. The world's oldest dog, Bobi, is a Portuguese Mastiff who lived 31 years and 165 days, making him the longest-lived dog in history. He lives in a village in Portugal, and his owner says the key to his longevity is his diet, rich in vegetables and light on meat. In 2021, a team of Japanese scientists achieved the record for the world's fastest data transfer. They used new fiber optic technology to transmit data at a speed of 319 terabits per second. At that speed, you could download the entire Netflix movie library in less than a second. Mobile phone use has radically changed our lives. On average, a person checks their phone 5-8 times a day. 75% of users check their phones at least once an hour, demonstrating the addiction we've developed to these devices. Specialty coffee has become a multi-billion-dollar industry. What people don't know is that most of the coffee consumed in the world comes from a single species, Arabica coffee. Although there are more than 100 species, most are unfit for human consumption. The feat of swimming across the Atlantic Ocean is one of the most extreme. In 2011, French swimmer Benoit Lecomte attempted to swim across the Atlantic. He didn't achieve the feat in a single attempt, but swam about 3,716 miles over 73 days. Although he didn't complete the swim, his attempt served to collect scientific data and document ocean pollution. Climber Reinhold Messner was the first person to climb Mount Everest without supplemental oxygen. His feat, accomplished in 1978, proved that it was possible to reach the world's highest peak without the aid of tanks. The mountaineering community considered it one of the greatest feats of the 20th century. Wim Hof, known as the Iceman, stands out. This Dutch athlete can withstand below 0 degrees Fahrenheit for long periods thanks to a combination of breathing, meditation, and mental control. He even climbed part of Mount Everest in shorts, without special protection against the cold, something that defies all scientific logic. Finally, a recent technological feat was NASA's Perseverance rover, which landed on Mars in 2021. Traveling millions of miles through space and landing on another planet with inch-level precision is one of the greatest feats of modern engineering. The viral video of Chewbacca's mom stars Candace Payne. In May 2016, she uploaded a 4-minute video to Facebook in which she laughs uncontrollably while wearing an electronic mask of the Star Wars character. The video was viewed 140 million times in less than 24 hours. The famous cat on the video call incident occurred with attorney Rod Ponton during a virtual hearing in the Presidio County District Court in Texas in February 2021. A cat filter was activated, and Ponton was unable to deactivate it, leading him to utter the now famous phrase, "I'm not a cat." During a live BBC interview, Professor Robert E. Kelly was talking about South Korea when his daughter calmly entered the room and approached him curiously. Minutes later, her baby appeared in a walker, and the mother finally rushed in to take them. The teacher, trying to remain calm, could only apologize and continue. The scene went viral and was reported around the world as one of the funniest moments on live television. A British girl went viral after expressing her outrage over the high price of 2 ice creams and some gum, which her mother paid in pounds. The little girl exclaimed, "Only 2 ice creams for £9?" stating that won't get you anywhere, and criticizing the seller for taking the customer's money. The reaction went viral for its spontaneous criticism and innocent perspective on the economy. The man who ran a marathon in the snow is named Wim Hof. This Dutch athlete, nicknamed the Iceman, ran a barefoot marathon in the Arctic Circle at temperatures of about -22 Fahrenheit degrees in 2009. His feat became famous on social media and moved people around the world. The man who climbed a burning tree to save a koala is named Darcy Byrne-Jones. During the Australian wildfires in 2020, this man saw a scared koala in a burning tree and rescued it. The video of the rescue was shared millions of times on social media. Colombian Sebastián Arias, who lives on the streets in Lima, went viral after rescuing 25 dogs from a fire in Gamara. Upon seeing the fire at a recycling factory, he climbed a building to save the animals trapped on the roof. He threw them down one by one, while neighbors below laid down sheets and mattresses to cushion their fall. His feat was recognized as a heroic act of great courage and love for animals. The man who ran a marathon on his balcony during quarantine is named Elisha Nochomovitz. In March 2020, this French athlete ran 26.2 miles on the balcony of his about 23-foot apartment. His feat became famous on social media, and people called him the balcony runner. The girl who built a robot to clean ocean trash is named Anna Du. In 2018, this one-year-old built a robot that could detect and clean plastic in the ocean. Her invention went viral on TikTok, and people called her the ocean hero. The famous viral video of the distracted girlfriend meme arose from a photo taken by Spanish photographer Antonio Guillem. The image, which has been used in millions of memes, was taken on a street in Barcelona and shows a man looking at a woman who is not his girlfriend. The gymnast who flew over the rings is named Yuri van Gelder. In 2005, this Dutch gymnast performed a routine on the rings, and at one point, he flew through the air as if he were weightless. People called him the Superman of gymnastics, and the video went viral on YouTube. The skateboarder who jumped 10 steps is named Aaron Jaws Homoki. In 2017, this American athlete jumped 10 steps at a skate park. The video of his feat became famous on Instagram. It is an example of perseverance and discipline in the world of skateboarding. The swimmer who saved her opponent in a swimming tournament is Kate Douglas. In 2021, at the Tokyo Olympics, Douglas noticed that her opponent, swimmer Erica Sullivan, was having a panic attack and pulled her out of the water. The video of the feat went viral. Meet the athlete who ran a marathon with his son. This man's name is Dick Hoyt. For over 30 years, Hoyt ran marathons pushing his son, Rick, who had a disability. The video of his feat went viral on social media, and people were moved by a father's love. The athlete who performed 500 jumps in one day is named Kyle Sheely. In 2020, this American athlete jumped 500 times in one day, which is considered a world record for show jumping. The video of his feat went viral on Instagram. The Roman Emperor Caligula is said to have made his horse Incitatus consul. Although many historians consider this an exaggeration to ridicule the emperor, it is true that he built him a marble stable and fed him in an ivory manger. The Great Chinese Famine of 1958 to 1961 caused the deaths of tens of millions of people. A social experiment known as the Great Leap Forward caused crop failure and massive food shortages. It is considered one of the greatest man-made catastrophes. The Colosseum in Rome wasn't just a place for gladiatorial combat. It could be flooded to recreate miniature naval battles in which ships and warriors fought in the water. Ingenious floodgates and a drainage system made this impressive spectacle possible. Pharaoh Tutankhamun was a child when he died. DNA analysis has shown that his parents were siblings and that he likely suffered from genetic defects. He is believed to have walked with sticks and died at 19 years old. Giant squid have the largest eyes in the animal kingdom. Their eyes can measure up to about 10.6 inches in diameter, which is the size of a soccer ball. It is believed that their large size helps them see bioluminescence in the depths of the ocean. Honeybees are incredibly hardworking. To produce about 1.1 pounds of honey, an entire hive must visit about 2 million flowers. On average, a honeybee produces only about half a teaspoon of honey in its entire lifetime. Hermit crabs use all kinds of objects as shelter. Due to the scarcity of snail shells, they have adapted to using glass bottles, plastic lids, or any object that offers them protection. Scientists see this as a sign of plastic pollution in the oceans. The blobfish, known for its sad, gelatinous appearance, does not look that way in its natural habitat. In the depths of the ocean, its body remains firm and strong. Its jelly-like shape is the result of the lack of surface pressure. Sea turtles have amazing navigation skills. They use the Earth's magnetic field to navigate the ocean. It's a kind of natural GPS that allows them to migrate thousands of miles and return to the same place where they were born. The International Space Station is the most expensive object ever built. At a cost of more than $150 billion, this floating laboratory is a collaborative effort between 15 countries. Gravity on the moon is much weaker than on Earth. A human would weigh only 1/6 of what they do on Earth. A 176-pound astronaut would weigh about 29 pounds on the moon, allowing them to take giant leaps and float across the surface. There is a planet made of diamonds. A planet called 55 Cancri E is a super-Earth estimated to have a large amount of carbon. The intense pressure and heat of its core could have turned this carbon into a giant diamond. Scientists at Yale University have discovered that obesity could be a viral disease. A virus called AD36, which infects fat cells, could be responsible for obesity. This discovery opens the door to new therapies to combat overweight and obesity. It has been discovered that people living in urban areas have a different biological clock than people living in rural areas. Exposure to artificial light and irregular sleep patterns in cities can affect circadian rhythms and increase the risk of diseases such as diabetes. Scientists at Stanford University have managed to create heart tissue in a laboratory. This tissue can beat and pump blood. Although it is not yet ready for transplantation, this advance could revolutionize regenerative medicine and treatments for heart disease. A group of researchers in Japan has discovered that smell can influence weight loss. A study with mice revealed that mice that couldn't smell lost more weight than those that could, even when given the same amount of food. Soft robots are a new category of robots inspired by nature. They are made of flexible and elastic materials, allowing them to perform delicate tasks without damaging objects. One example is the robot that can lift an egg without breaking it. It has been discovered that plastics can be recycled infinitely. A new type of plastic, called cyclic plastic, can be broken down and reused again and again without losing its quality. This could help solve the global problem of plastic pollution. 3. Deep printing of homes is a reality. In 2021, the company Icon printed a house of about 646 square feet in just 24 hours. This technology could help solve the global housing shortage, as homes can be built more quickly and affordably. Scientists have succeeded in creating electronic skin that can feel. The skin, which resembles human skin, is made of flexible materials that can detect temperature, pressure, and pain. This could give robots a more human-like sense of touch. Flying cars are no longer a dream. Companies like Joby Aviation and Archer Aviation are developing eVTOL, or electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. These vehicles could revolutionize urban transportation by allowing people to travel through the air. The world's fastest electric car is the Rimac Nevera. This vehicle, manufactured in Croatia, can reach about 62 miles per hour in just 85 seconds. It's so fast that it's considered a hypercar and can compete with race cars. Cars no longer use rear-view mirrors. Luxury electric cars, like the Audi e-tron, have cameras instead of mirrors. This not only improves the car's aerodynamics, but also eliminates blind spots, making it safer. The ASMR phenomenon has gone viral on YouTube. ASMR videos, which feature soft sounds like whispering or the sound of leaves, help people relax and reduce stress. Some of the ASMR videos have millions of views. The vegan food challenge went viral on TikTok. Hundreds of people made videos of themselves eating vegan food, leading to a surge in the popularity of the vegan diet. The challenge also helped raise awareness about animal welfare. Memes are now an art form. One meme, the girl looking at another boy meme, which went viral in 2017, was sold as a non-fungible token, or NFT, for $4 million. The meme was created from a photo taken by the meme's photographer and set a record in the meme world. Ants don't sleep in the sense that humans do. Instead, they take naps of approximately 1 minute and 20 seconds several times a day. An ant can take up to 250 of these naps in a day, which adds up to an average of 4 to 5 hours of rest. A silkworm produces about 4,921 feet of silk thread in its lifetime. To create a single 2.2-pound bundle of silk, approximately 5,500 silkworms are needed. This process has been a fundamental part of Asian culture and economy for thousands of years. Sea turtles return to the same beach where they were born to lay their eggs. Scientists aren't sure how they do this, but it's believed they use the Earth's magnetic field to navigate, like a kind of natural GPS. Grumpy Cat, whose real name was Tartar Sauce, was famous for her angry facial expression. She went viral in 2012 and became one of the most popular memes in history. Her owner, Tabitha Bundeson, said the expression was due to feline dwarfism and a crooked bite. Boo, the world's cutest dog, was a Pomeranian with a distinctive haircut that made him look like a teddy bear. He gained worldwide fame in 2010 through a Facebook page created by his owner, Irene On. Boo passed away in 2019 at the age of 12. Maru, the Shiba Inu, went viral for his incredible expressions. His owner, photographer Shinjiro Ono, has been posting photos of Maru on a blog since 2008. Maru became a symbol of happiness and optimism in Japan. Just outside Tel Aviv, the Qvevrebi Hotel stands out for offering a truly unique accommodation experience. Its 20 rooms are designed in the shape of Qvevri, the ancient clay vessels used for centuries in Georgia to make and preserve wine. The ocean sunfish, or mola mola, stands out for its strange appearance, seemingly originating from an alien world. Its rounded, flattened body, along with its large wing-like fins, give it a unique profile that sets it apart from any other marine creature. This giant marine species swims slowly in temperate and tropical oceans, displaying a surprising combination of beauty and rarity that fascinates biologists and sea lovers alike. The binturong, also known as the monkey bear, is undoubtedly one of the most interesting and unique creatures on Earth. With its appearance, which combines traits of several animals, and its unique behavior, this nocturnal mammal arouses fascination among those lucky enough to encounter it. In Japan, the impressive Ashima Ohashi Bridge stands, an engineering structure that defies visual perception. From certain vantage points, this bridge appears almost vertical, offering an optical illusion that astonishes those who behold it. The genet is a fascinating creature that combines features reminiscent of a cat, a dog, and a ferret in a single elegant body. Its slender and agile figure, along with its large, expressive eyes, give it an air of mystery and cunning. Furthermore, its unique and distinctive spotted coat makes it an unmistakable inhabitant of the forest where it moves stealthily. In China, giant pandas are revered as national icons of great importance, protected with extreme rigor and dedication. These charming beasts are never for sale, as no country on the planet is authorized to possess them. More than just animals, they are true cultural and natural treasures that China fervently safeguards. Along the shores of Lake Tekapo in New Zealand, a unique natural spectacle unfolds every summer: the vibrant blooming of Russell's trumpet flowers. These delicate flowers, with their intense colors and elegant shapes, cover the landscape like a living carpet, transforming the area into a visual paradise. In Switzerland, Lake Silsersee is a sublime creation of nature, a true masterpiece that captivates everyone. When winter arrives, its reflecting water transforms into a frozen surface where a magical phenomenon occurs. Tiny gas bubbles are trapped beneath the ice, forming hypnotic designs that resemble delicate strokes of an invisible paintbrush. The Ashera is a luxury feline, famous for its rarity and high market price. This breed is the result of a genetic combination of a domestic cat, an Asian leopard cat, and an African serval cat, resulting in an animal with an imposing appearance and a wild appearance. Its coat, covered in spots reminiscent of a leopard's, reinforces its exotic image. In addition to its remarkable size, it stands out for being one of the most exclusive pets you can own. Janus cats are named after the Roman god who represented the past and future with two faces. This rare genetic anomaly causes the animal to be born with two perfectly visible faces, including two mouths, two noses, and three functioning or partial eyes. Their chances of survival are extremely low, as most die within a few days, and the few that survive often suffer chronic health problems. A team of archaeologists discovered near the Templo Mayor in Mexico City an imposing structure known as Huitzilopochtli. It is an ancient tower composed of hundreds of human skulls carefully arranged in concentric circles, fixed together with lime and stone. In the town of Lisse, a short distance from Amsterdam, lies Keukenhof, a vast and famous flower park nicknamed the Garden of Europe. There, vast fields of tulips display a sea of vibrant colors that attract thousands of visitors from around the world every spring. In the United States, there is a breed of cattle called the Texas Longhorn, recognized for its enormous horns that can extend more than 6.5 feet and take on curious arch shapes. These cattle possess outstanding resilience, allowing them to adapt to dry regions with limited vegetation. Ram Singh Chauhan, born in India, is famous for having the world's longest mustache, measuring about 14.1 feet from tip to tip. From a young age, he made his mustache a personal pride, dedicating countless hours to its care. He uses natural oils and traditional methods to keep it strong, flexible, and damage-free. Alfred Cheng, a talented 30-year-old artist from Hong Kong, has gained worldwide recognition thanks to his unique technique of creating hyper-realistic faces using only thread. His works, which depict everything from celebrities to diverse personalities, are astonishing in their precision and detail, defying the imagination. Brittany and Abby Hensel, born in 1990 in the United States, are conjoined twins who have a single body but two independent heads. This extraordinary condition has sparked great interest and admiration around the world, as each controls one side of the body and works closely together to perform everyday activities. Despite the physical and social challenges they face, Brittany and Abby have demonstrated an impressive capacity for adaptation. In 2015, Beijing faced an unprecedented environmental crisis when air quality reached critical levels, leading China to issue its first red alert for air pollution. The metropolis was enveloped in a thick layer of smog, dominated by microscopic particles known as PM 2.5, which penetrate deep into the lungs and pose a serious risk to human health. Doug the Pug, a pug from Nashville, Tennessee, became famous for his costumes and personality. His owner, Leslie Mosier, has been posting photos and videos of Doug on Instagram since 2014. Doug has earned more than 3.5 million followers. Jif-Pom, a Pomeranian, holds the Guinness World Record for the most followed dog on Instagram. Jif-Pom has more than 9.5 million followers and is known for his toy-like appearance and ability to walk on his front legs. Mischief the Magpie, a magpie, went viral in 2018. Her owner, Kellyanne, recorded a video of Mischief imitating a dog's bark. The magpie's voice was so dog-like that people couldn't believe it was a bird. Grumpy Cat isn't the only social media star. In 2019, a video of a parrot named Eric the Cockatoo went viral. In the video, Eric imitated the sound of a robot. His owner, a woman from New Zealand, was amazed at her pet's skill. Juniper the Foxy, a fox, became famous on social media for her playful behavior. Her owner, a woman from the United States, has been posting photos and videos of Juniper on Instagram since 2015. Juniper has become a symbol of life with foxes. The viral video of a penguin stealing a researcher's fish in Antarctica became famous. The penguin approached the researcher, took the fish from his hand, and ran away. The video went viral on social media and touched people around the world. The viral video of a duck riding a surfboard on a California beach became famous in 2021. The duck climbed onto a man's surfboard and stayed there while the man surfed. The video went viral on social media, and people really related to it. Watch this video of a raccoon getting on a bus in New York. The raccoon got on the bus and sat in a seat. The bus driver noticed and laughed. The video went viral on social media, and people dubbed it the bus raccoon. The video of a bear getting into a pool in California went viral in 2021. The bear got into a pool and started swimming. The owner of the house recorded it. The video went viral on social media, and people felt strongly about it. In August of this year, passengers in a vehicle recorded the moment a tourist was stepped on by an elephant, which went viral on social media. The victim, identified by authorities as Basavaraju, got out of a truck near the Bankapur temple in Karnataka, India, to try to take a photo with the elephant. The man slipped while being chased by the animal, which stepped on him and escaped. According to authorities, Basavaraju recovered and was fined 25,000 rupees. The great nose of the Great Sphinx of Giza was not destroyed by time or erosion. 18th century illustrations show the Sphinx with its nose intact. The most widely accepted story is that it was destroyed in 1378 by a Sufi fanatic. The first flush toilets were used in the Palace of Knossos, Crete, more than 3,500 years ago. The toilets had a system of clay pipes that connected to an aqueduct and allowed the palace's inhabitants to enjoy clean water. The Library of Alexandria did not burn down in a single fire, as was once believed. It is believed that the library was destroyed in several fires, and that most of its book collection was destroyed during the Roman conquest of Egypt in 48 before Christ. The Colosseum in Rome had 80 entrances, 76 of which were used by the public. It is estimated that the Colosseum could hold more than 5,000 spectators who could enter and exit the building in just 15 minutes thanks to its ingenious entrance system. Midas is a kitten who has attracted worldwide attention for having 4 ears, a truly unusual trait. This peculiarity arises from a genetic mutation that affects only her external appearance without causing any health problems. Thanks to this peculiarity, Midas has become a minor celebrity on the internet and in the media. The Rubens tube is a fascinating experiment that makes the behavior of sound in air visible. It is a long, hollow cylinder, at the end of which is placed a speaker that emits acoustic waves. Along the tube, there are small holes through which a flammable gas is released, which, when ignited, creates a trail of flames. John Edwards, a 26-year-old enthusiastic explorer, suffered a tragic fate when he became irreversibly trapped inside a cave in the state of Utah. Passionate about the underground world and an expert in caving, his intention was to traverse a route known as the Birth Canal. However, due to a misdirection, he wandered into a different section of the rocky labyrinth, a dangerous and rarely traveled area. Kagoo birds are a unique flightless bird species found exclusively in New Caledonia, an island located in the South Pacific. This uniqueness makes them a very special natural treasure, as they exist nowhere else in the world. In the Turkish region of Halfeti, located on the banks of the Euphrates River, truly extraordinary roses bloom, striking for their unusual color. Thanks to the special properties of the water and the unique characteristics of the local soil, these flowers take on a hue that appears black during the summer season, creating a rare natural spectacle. Russian astronaut Sergei Krikalev had originally planned a stay in space of about 150 days. However, complex political circumstances in his country caused an unexpected delay in his return. Due to these problems, Krikalev ended up remaining in orbit for 311 consecutive days, more than double the planned time. This prolonged mission established him as the astronaut with the longest continuous stay in space up to that point. The Mundi capsule is a biodegradable oval-shaped coffin used to bury bodies or ashes. Its natural composition allows it to release essential nutrients into the soil as it decomposes. A tree is planted on top of the capsule, which grows by harnessing these nutrients. This method promotes a symbiotic connection between life and death. In Japan, there is a unique community called Aogashima, nestled in the crater of an active volcano. This small town, with around 160 inhabitants, is located on an isolated volcanic island. Surrounded by the waters of the Philippine Sea, Aogashima offers a stunning and unique landscape. Life there is closely connected to nature and its constant geological activity. In Japan, in a quiet town called Shingo, a legend circulates that challenges traditional history. According to ancient local stories, this village is said to be the final resting place of Jesus Christ. This popular belief holds that, instead of being crucified, Jesus lived and died in this remote community. This story has made Shingo a curious destination for travelers interested in mysteries and little-known traditions. In the ocean, the sailfish stands out as the fastest swimmer among marine species. This elegant animal can reach astonishing speeds, up to about 68 miles per hour. Its streamlined body and distinctive dorsal fin allow it to move very quickly. Thanks to this ability, it is an agile and efficient predator in its habitat. Isaiah Acosta, a young man from the United States, was born with an extremely rare anomaly that prevents him from having a functioning chin and airway. Because of this condition, doctors informed his family that his chances of survival were practically zero. Throughout his life, Isaiah has faced great challenges, including the inability to speak. In southwest China lies Chongqing, a colossal metropolis with a population of over 30 million. Its size and administrative significance make it a self-governing province, with broad responsibilities of its own. Chongqing's territory encompasses imposing mountain ranges and mighty rivers, along with a multitude of urban and rural districts. The Roman Emperor Caligula was the first ruler to declare war on a god. Caligula had his soldiers throw spears into the ocean and stand on the shore, yelling at the god Neptune. The act became famous in history. The Harry Potter series has been translated into more than 80 languages, including Latin and Ancient Greek. The popularity of the books has been such that the first book has sold more than 500 million copies worldwide. The adult coloring book phenomenon became popular in the 2010s. The popularity of these books, which sold millions of copies, was due to the belief that coloring helped reduce stress and anxiety. E.L. James's 50 Shades of Grey, which became popular in the 2010s, was written as a Twilight Saga fan fiction. The author wrote the novel as a way to explore the relationship between the characters in the saga. The smallest species of fish in the world is the Paedocyprus progenetica, a freshwater fish that lives in Indonesia. The largest species of fish in the world is the Rhincodon tepus, a freshwater fish that lives in the Amazon River. The most poisonous plant in the world is the leaf of death, a plant from the legume family. The plant is so poisonous that a single leaf can kill a person in 30 minutes. The plant is native to Africa and Asia. The Guinness record for the loudest animal is the sperm whale. The sound emitted by the sperm whale can reach 230 decibels, which is louder than a jet taking off. The sound is used to search for prey and communicate with other sperm whales. The Guinness record for the largest insect is the silk moth, an insect that lives in Asia and Africa. The silk moth is the largest insect in the world and can reach a wingspan of up to about 11.8 inches. The person with the most tattoos is Lucky Diamond Rich, a street artist in New Zealand. He has covered his body with 100% tattoos, including his gums, the inside of his ears, and the whites of his eyes. The Guinness World Record for the person with the most piercings is held by Elaine Davidson. She has covered her body with more than 1,100 piercings, including more than 3,500 on her face. She is a Brazilian woman who lives in Edinburgh, Scotland. The dog with the longest tongue is Mochi Mo Rickard, a Saint Bernard. Mochi's tongue measures about 7.31 inches, which is longer than a dollar bill. Mochi lives in South Dakota, USA. The world's largest pizza was made in Italy in 2012. The pizza measured 122 feet in diameter and required about 1,980 pounds of flour, about 8,800 pounds of cheese. The Guinness World Record for the oldest man to run a marathon is held by Fauja Singh. At the age of 100, this Indian man ran a marathon in Toronto, Canada. He became world famous and became an example of perseverance. The film Oppenheimer used practical effects to recreate the explosion of the atomic bomb. Director Christopher Nolan, instead of using CGI, created a replica of the explosion with gasoline and TNT. The result was so shocking that many viewers thought it was a digital effect. The 2023 film Barbie caused a worldwide shortage of pink paint. Production designer Sarah Greenwood revealed that the film used all of Roscoe's pink paint. Director Greta Gerwig said the paint shortage was insane. Mission: Impossible Dead Sentence from 2023 has one of the most dangerous action scenes in cinematic history. Tom Cruise jumped off a motorcycle ramp, then launched himself into the void before deploying his parachute. Cruise performed the jump 6 times. The 2022 film Avatar: The Way of Water used underwater motion capture technology. To film the movie, the crew built a 3-million-gallon pool, and the actors had to learn to scuba dive. Zoe Saldana, who played Neytiri, learned to hold her breath for 5 minutes. In 2022's The Batman, the character has a Batman suit so realistic it was inspired by military uniforms. Director Matt Reeves said the suit had to be functional and practical. The Batman suit was made from carbon fiber armor. In 2023's The Last of Us, virtual reality technology was used to create the world. The post-apocalyptic setting of the series, director Craig Mazin said the technology allowed them to create a world that felt real and alive. The 2001 film The Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring had an actor who nearly died on set. Sean Astin, the actor who played Sam, nearly drowned in a waterfall scene. The film crew had to rescue him. Umami, considered the fifth taste, is an increasingly popular phenomenon in haute cuisine. It is described as a salty, meaty flavor. Dishes with mushrooms, sun-dried tomatoes, Parmesan cheese, and soy sauce are rich in umami. Sourdough bread, which has become popular in recent years, is actually one of the oldest forms of bread. It is believed to date back to ancient Rome. Today's bakers have revived the art of natural fermentation to create healthier and more nutritious breads. Insects are a sustainable and nutritious source of protein and are becoming a gourmet food option. In many countries, insects are consumed in upscale restaurants and bars. They are rich in protein, vitamins, and minerals. Liquid nitrogen ice cream is a modern cooking technique that has gone viral on social media. Liquid nitrogen at about 321 degrees Fahrenheit is used to flash freeze ice cream. This creates a very creamy and smooth ice cream, free of ice crystals. The garbage continent in the Pacific is a massive accumulation of plastic waste, estimated to measure over about 6,170,000 square miles. It is larger than the combined surface areas of countries like France and Spain. Scientists are working on solutions to clean it up. The Dead Sea, known for its high salinity, is shrinking. Every year, the Dead Sea drops about 3.3 feet. The reason is the overexploitation of its tributaries for agricultural use. Easter Island has no native trees. Archaeologists believe the island's inhabitants cut down the trees to move their statues, causing deforestation on the island. The island's case is a reminder of how a lack of planning can affect nature. The Sahara Desert wasn't always a desert. Scientists have discovered that about 11,000 years ago, the Sahara was a green place with lakes. Global climate change caused the desert to dry out. The Grand Canyon is not the deepest in the world. The deepest canyon in the world is the Yarlung Tsangpo Canyon in Tibet, which is about 19,700 feet deep. The Yarlung Tsangpo Canyon is so deep that its floor is below sea level. Iguazu Falls on the border between Brazil and Argentina is larger than Niagara Falls. Iguazu Falls have a water flow of about 61800 cubic feet per second. They are one of the natural wonders of the world. The Rocky Mountains in North America are an example of a constantly changing landscape. Geologists have discovered that the mountains move about 0.4 inches per year. The reason is the force of tectonic plates. The city of Tokyo has one of the largest subway networks in the world. The Tokyo subway network has more than 100 lines and transports more than 8.7 million people daily. It is one of the most densely populated cities in the world. The first commercial text message was sent in 1992 by engineer Neil Papworth. The message, which was sent from a computer to a phone, simply read, "Merry Christmas." At the time, phones didn't have keypads, so the message was sent from a PC to a phone. Smartphones have a sensor that detects the tilt of your head. This sensor is called a gyroscope. It's used to rotate the screen when you turn the phone, making it easier to use. The first mobile phone was invented in 1973 by Martin Cooper, a Motorola engineer. The phone, which weighed about 2.4 pounds, was considered a brick phone. Cooper made the first call from a mobile phone to his rival, engineer Joel Engel. The most expensive video game in history is the 2018 game Red Dead Redemption 2. Developed by Rockstar Games, the game cost over $170 million to develop. The Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias that causes people with little experience in a subject to overestimate their abilities. An example of this effect is a person who thinks they're a good singer, but actually isn't. The largest earthquake in human history was the 1960 Chile earthquake. The earthquake, which measured 9.5 on the Richter scale, was so powerful that it shifted the Earth's axis and caused a tsunami that affected Japan and Hawaii. The first paper banknotes were used in China in the 7th century. They were used to prevent merchants from having to carry large quantities of copper coins, which were very heavy. The invention became so popular that it was used throughout the country. The Roman Emperor Julius Caesar was the first ruler to use a form of calendar. The Julian calendar, used in Europe for over 1,500 years, was based on the movement of the Sunday. It was inspired by the Egyptian calendar. The world's fastest robot is called Cheetah, a four-legged robot that can run at speeds of about 28 miles per hour. The robot, which was designed at MIT, is shaped like a cheetah, giving it a speed advantage. The first mobile phone was about 2.4-pound phone. The phone, which was invented by a Motorola engineer in 1973, was considered a brick phone. The phone was first used in New York City. Our eyes can see up to 10 million different colors. Most humans have 3 types of sensory cells in the retina that allow us to see red, green, and blue. The combination of these colors allows us to see a wide range of hues. The human heart can pump enough blood to fill 100 Olympic-sized swimming pools in a lifetime. The heart beats about 3 billion times in a lifetime. The heart is a very resilient and strong organ. The first video game in history wasn't Pong or Tetris. It was Tennis for Two, a tennis game created in 1958 for a physics lab. It became so popular that people lined up to play it. Zebras aren't white with black stripes, but black with white stripes. A zebra's skin is completely black underneath its fur, and the stripes are formed from the growth of white hairs. The world's largest diamond is the Star of Africa, weighing 530.2 carats. It was discovered in 1905 in South Africa and is now part of the British Crown Jewels. Its value is incalculable. The Earth doesn't take exactly 24 hours to complete one full rotation. It actually takes 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4 seconds, which is known as a sidereal day. Each year, the time difference accumulates, forcing us to use leap seconds. In Cancun, Mexico, underwater museums combine art and conservation. Submerged sculptures encourage coral growth and shelter marine life. Over time, the statues integrate into the ecosystem, becoming living reefs. It's an example of how art can coexist with nature and restore biodiversity. The Kawah Ijen volcano in Indonesia produces blue lava at night. This phenomenon is due to sulfur gases that ignite when exposed to air, creating an almost magical luminous effect. It attracts scientists and adventurers from around the world. This natural spectacle combines danger, beauty, and rarity, a volcanic gem for those who seek natural wonders. In Japan, scientists have achieved an impressive breakthrough, recreating dreams using algorithms and artificial intelligence. Using MRIs and sophisticated software, they are able to decipher what our brains display while we sleep. During REM sleep, the most vivid sleep, they awaken volunteers to describe their dreams before they are forgotten. AI then generates digital images based on brain activity, showing a glimpse of our nighttime worlds. The popular game Roblox has decided to strengthen the security of its underage players using artificial intelligence. The platform can now estimate users' ages from a photo and control who they can interact with. Those under 13 will have their conversations protected and monitored, while those older than 13 can add acquaintances using QR codes. An adorable moment went viral on social media. A mother duck interrupted a wedding by walking through the ceremony with her ducklings. Guests couldn't contain their laughter at the unexpected appearance, and videos quickly spread online. Some made jokes like, "I object, recognize your children, Juan," adding a touch of humor to the event. Roman soldiers' helmets weren't just decorative. The crests had a strategic purpose. They served to identify ranks and units, while also making the soldiers look taller and more intimidating. The colors and shapes varied according to position, and in battle they made it easier to recognize allies and organize quickly. In China, there is a village called Mamban Sambui, where it is common for a man to have several wives, up to 5. Polygamy here is seen as a symbol of wealth and social status, in addition to helping with household chores and farming. Marriages do not require ceremonies or legal formalities and are considered a cultural tradition that strengthens the community. Sony is preparing to launch the PlayStation 6, a device with 825 gigabytes of storage and 8 Kelvin's gaming capabilities. It will include portable and desktop versions, advanced voice assistance, and fluid augmented virtual reality. The handheld will allow users to take their game library anywhere while maintaining performance and visual quality, with a launch plan for nearly 2028. Squid have blue blood thanks to a protein called hemocyanin, which uses copper to transport oxygen. Unlike human hemoglobin, it functions best in cold, low-oxygen waters. This allows them to maintain an active metabolism and hunt at great depths where other animals would be unable to survive. The hair fryer brush is much more than a hairstyling tool. It's a disguised defense weapon. By removing its head and activating a safety button, it transforms into an electric stun gun capable of immobilizing an attacker. It includes a flashlight, charges via USB, and its head is washable, preventing accidental activation. China has developed a multifunctional drone called the T-3R that also serves as a rescue float. It can fly to people in distress, land in water, and keep 2 adults afloat until rescued. It has an IP68 certification, resisting immersion and extreme conditions such as strong waves and wind, making aquatic safety more efficient. Psychologist Clive Arnold introduced the concept of Blue Monday, considered the saddest day of the year. It occurs on the 3rd Monday of January and is associated with factors such as cold weather, returning to routine, and Christmas debts. Although it has no scientific backing, the term became popular to refer to emotional well-being. In contrast, June 20th is celebrated as Yellow Day, the happiest day of the year. Sleeping position directly influences our health. Sleeping on our stomach can cause neck pain, spinal tension, and breathing problems. Sleeping on our back helps align the spine and distribute weight evenly, although it can cause snoring and sleep apnea. Each position has its advantages and disadvantages depending on each person's body type. In 2010, a Spanish woman named Maria Angeles Duran declared herself the owner of the sun through a legal loophole. As a lawyer and psychologist, she executed a notarized document recognizing her as the owner of the star. She even attempted to sell portions of the sun and collect taxes on sunlight. Her actions sparked lawsuits from people for sun-related health problems, causing a media stir. Dangerous movie scenes, known as stunts, require extreme safety measures. However, some came close to real tragedies. In Jackie Chan's 1985 Police Story, Jackie performed an unrehearsed jump inside a shopping mall, sliding down a pole to catch a villain. Meet Tessa Hansen-Smith, a young woman who suffers from a rare condition called aquagenic urticaria, which prevents her from leading a normal life around water. Her skin reacts with painful rashes even at the slightest contact with this essential liquid. Because of this, she can only bathe a couple of times a month, following strict care. Alexander Doba was an intrepid Polish explorer who made history by becoming the first person to row solo and unsupported from Europe to New York. His crossing of the Atlantic, driven solely by his strength and determination, established him as a symbol of resilience and adventurous spirit. Donna Griffiths, a young woman originally from the United Kingdom, achieved notoriety for experiencing the longest sneezing episode ever documented. Her unusual case began when she was just 12 years old and lasted for several years. This phenomenon attracted the attention of doctors and the media due to its rarity. Bruno Catalano creates incomplete human figures, with large voids running through torsos and legs. These gaps symbolize what the migrant leaves behind: home, language, affections, identity, and transit. The series Les Voyageurs shows bodies moving forward with suitcases, but visibly missing. The solid material contrasts with the void and forces the eye to reconstruct what is absent. In Abu Dhabi, Capitol Gate rises, a tower with an intentional slope of nearly 18 degrees, well above the famous lean of Pisa. Its stability comes from an eccentric structural core and a diagonal grid that redistributes loads as the volume peaks toward the sky. Due to this extreme design, Guinness World Records certified it as the skyscraper with the greatest deliberate inclination on the planet. Lua is a pet plant pot with a screen that translates the plant's needs into animated faces. If it needs water, light, or is too cold divided by hot, it displays it instantly. It incorporates substrate humidity, temperature, and light sensors, and connects to an app to set alerts and monitor the plant. In addition to decorating, it educates and gamifies daily care, making it easier to keep the plant healthy. Sumiko Iwamuro, known as DJ Sumiko, transformed her life when, at 77, she decided to debut in Tokyo's nightclubs while continuing to cook in her restaurant. Over time, she became a symbol of perseverance and creativity, inspiring new generations. Finally, at 83, Guinness recognized her as the world's oldest professional DJ. Darius, a Flemish giant rabbit, holds the title of the world's largest rabbit. At over 4 feet 3 inches long and weighing over 44 pounds, its size has surprised everyone. This breed, native to Belgium, is already known for its large size, but Darius has taken that record to the extreme. Despite his imposing appearance, he has a calm and sociable temperament. Mr. Doodle, the stage name of Sam Cox, is a young British artist who has revolutionized contemporary art with his unmistakable doodle-based style. His works, full of playful figures, repetitive patterns, and fluid lines, cover everything from canvases to walls, furniture, and even entire buildings. Denis Vashurin, a man originally from Russia, suffers from a rare genetic condition that has visibly stunted his physical development. Although he is 37 years old, his appearance corresponds to that of a teenager of about 13. This difference between his biological age and appearance has shaped his daily life, generating both curiosity and social challenges. In the small town of Cormorant, Minnesota, a Great Pyrenees dog named Duke was symbolically elected mayor, becoming a beloved figure among the residents. Although the position was honorary, his election reflected the festive and community spirit of the place. Duke ruled for several years, attending local events with his tie and furry smile. His popularity made him a local and even international celebrity. Naya Kim Gatwech, a model originally from South Sudan, is known worldwide as the Queen of Darkness for her intensely deep skin tone. Her unique beauty and commanding presence have challenged traditional standards in the fashion industry. Beyond her career, she has become a symbol of pride and empowerment for many people with dark skin. Halloumi is a traditional Cypriot cheese, famous for its unique heat resistance. Thanks to its high protein content and a unique production process, it can be grilled or pan-fried without melting. When heated, it acquires a crispy texture on the outside and remains firm on the inside. This quality makes it an ideal choice for hot dishes or as a vegetable substitute in meat-free recipes. In Slovakia, the modest Tatran Čierny Balák Club has a truly unique stadium. A steam train track runs from one side to the other. During matches, you can see the locomotive passing by the pitch, creating a scene as unusual as it is picturesque. Far from being an obstacle, this curious detail has become a symbol of the place. Today, fans and tourists alike come not only for the football, but for the unique experience. Joy Milne, a woman originally from Scotland, has a rare gift. She can detect diseases through her sense of smell. Her extraordinary ability allows her to identify changes in body odor associated with certain disorders, such as Parkinson's. This talent has sparked the interest of the scientific community, which collaborates with her on medical research. What began as an unusual perception has become a valuable diagnostic tool. High in the Peruvian Andes lies an ancient wonder, the Queshuachaca Bridge. This unique suspension bridge, made entirely of hand-woven plant fibers, connects communities separated by the Apurimac River Canyon. Each year, local residents renew the bridge through a community ritual steeped in tradition and symbolism. Quasimodo is a German shepherd dog notable for his unusual appearance due to a rare condition known as severed spine syndrome. This genetic anomaly gives him a necklace appearance, which limits some of his mobility but does not affect his cheerful spirit or his ability to interact affectionately. Japanese artist Masataka Shishido has become famous for creating objects so realistic they resemble real human parts. His specialty is creating everyday accessories, such as wallets, phone cases, and handbags, that mimic skin, mouths, eyes, and fingers with an impressive level of detail. The effect is often striking, combining the useful with the disturbing, blurring the line between art and anatomy. The Tamul Waterfall, in the Huasteca Potosina region of Mexico, is the highest waterfall in the state, at about 345 feet. It is fed by the Galenas River and falls into the Santa Maria River Canyon, creating a stunning turquoise curtain. During the rainy season, its flow increases, and the roar echoes between the limestone walls. The Cahills Crossing in Australia's Northern Territory is well known for its dangerous ford. During the rainy season, water can cover the road and sweep away vehicles. But the greatest risk is the presence of saltwater crocodiles that prowl the area. Crossing on foot is extremely risky, as these reptiles lurk in search of prey near the crossing. The giant Gippsland earthworm, native to southeastern Australia, is considered the longest earthworm on the planet. It can grow to over about 10 feet in length, although most measure around 5 feet. Its body is thin and translucent, allowing some of its internal organs to be seen. It lives in moist soils near rivers and moves slowly underground, forming tunnels. The so-called hairy show cows are characterized by a thick woolly coat that gives them a unique appearance. These cattle, unlike other cattle breeds, do not develop visible horns. They are raised under strict hygiene programs, with frequent brushing and grooming routines. Their fluffy appearance is not natural, but rather the result of breeding geared toward competitions and exhibitions. Fat Albert is the name given to a Lockheed C-130 Hercules military transport aircraft used by the United States Navy's Blue Angels Aerobatic Squadron. Its primary function is to transport the equipment and support equipment needed for air displays. In addition, at some shows it also performs its own maneuvers, demonstrating its power despite being a cargo plane. Norwegian designer Fredrik Kjærensen surprised audiences at a London fashion show with an unusual offering. His models appeared wrapped in enormous, brightly colored inflatable structures that resembled giant balloons. As they walked down the runway, these shapes slowly deflated, revealing outfits hidden beneath. On the Shalmala River in Karnataka, India, you can see thousands of Shiva lingams carved directly into the rock of the riverbed. These religious carvings, dedicated to the god Shiva, form a unique natural sanctuary. It is believed they were made centuries ago by devotees as a spiritual offering, and the site now attracts both pilgrims and tourists who are amazed by the magnitude of the sculptures. The Seven Stars is an exclusive luxury train that has been operating across the island of Kyushu, Japan, since 2013. Its design combines classic elegance with Japanese craftsmanship, offering wooden interiors, tatami mats, and spacious suites. Passengers enjoy scenic tours showcasing the region's volcanoes, forests, and hot springs. The giant monkey frog, native to Madagascar, has a surprising adaptation to survive the extreme climate. During the dry season, its skin produces a waxy substance that acts as a natural sunscreen. This secretion prevents dehydration and protects the amphibian from the sun's intense rays, allowing it to remain exposed for long periods without losing too much moisture. The Fly Ranch hot springs, located in the arid Nevada desert, look like something out of a surreal landscape. Powerful jets of hot water gush forth, tinting the surroundings in shades of green, red, and yellow, thanks to minerals and algae. They were not formed entirely naturally, but arose from human drilling decades ago. French photographer François Dorlan is known for his original artistic style, combining everyday scenes with images from movies and TV series displayed on his iPhone screen. He creates inventive and playful compositions that play with perspective and real-life settings, inserting famous characters into everyday situations for surprising contrasts and moments of humor. Mexican artist Rubén Orozco Loza is recognized for his hyper-realistic sculptures, striking for their astonishing level of detail achieved with silicone, resin, wood, marble, and human hair materials that give his works an almost lifelike appearance. His pieces stand out not only for anatomical precision, but also for their emotional impact, often addressing social issues. Hope is an albino turtle that has captured worldwide attention, not only for her unusual coloration, but also for a delicate malformation of her plastron that leaves part of her internal organs exposed, posing a constant risk to her health. Despite this, she has survived thanks to specialized care and has become a symbol of resilience and hope for many people. The Hakone Kawakien Unisun Water Park in Japan is known for offering unconventional thermal experiences. Among these is a red wine-themed pool, where visitors can immerse themselves in an aromatic liquid that simulates the famous beverage, taking advantage of its purported benefits for skin and well-being. The Dong Tao chicken, also known as the dragon chicken, is a rare and prized breed of poultry native to Vietnam, characterized by its extraordinarily thick legs, considered a delicacy in local cuisine. In addition to its distinctive appearance, this chicken has firm, flavorful meat, highly valued for its texture and taste, making it a luxury product reserved for special occasions and traditional banquets. The Rakottsbrücke Bridge, located in Saxony, Germany, is famous for its architectural design, which, when reflected in the water, creates a perfect circle, earning it the nickname Devil's Bridge for its almost magical appearance. Because of its fragility and the desire to preserve it, crossing is not permitted, yet thousands of visitors still come each year to admire and photograph it. Arte Sella, located in the Sella Valley in Italy, is an open-air museum where contemporary works blend with the natural environment, created primarily from organic materials such as wood, stone, and leaves. These installations not only engage with the landscape, but also evolve with it, decomposing or transforming over time. In the colorful town of Guadalupe, Colombia, there is a peculiar soccer field that floats on the calm waters of the reservoir, allowing players to enjoy the sport surrounded by a stunning and unique natural landscape. This floating structure combines functionality and beauty, offering a distinctive sporting experience in direct contact with nature. Artist Tim Klein from Vancouver, Canada, has developed a creative and surreal technique that combines pieces from different commercial puzzles to form new, symbolic images. Taking advantage of compatible cuts, he generates visual compositions that surprise for their ingenuity and the way disparate elements fit together harmoniously. Sofia Gomez Uribe is a Colombian freediver internationally recognized for her impressive achievements in freediving, a discipline in which she has broken several world records. Her underwater prowess, extraordinary lung capacity, and impeccable technique have made her one of the most prominent figures in the sport. Akimbo is a prominent Russian athlete specializing in arm wrestling, a discipline in which he has demonstrated remarkable strength, technique, and endurance. His name has become known in the world of combat sports thanks to intense showdowns and a competitive style. Liz Cambage is one of the tallest professional basketball players in the world, standing at about 6 feet 9.5 inches. Born in Australia, she has excelled in international leagues and Olympic competitions for her dominance under the rim and her ability to score with ease. Kitten K. Sarah, recognized worldwide for her extravagant monochromatic lifestyle, has been officially declared the woman most identified with the color pink. From her clothes to the furniture in her home, absolutely everything around her is dyed in different shades of this vibrant color. Her dedication to pink is both an aesthetic and personal artistic statement that she has maintained for decades. The Wilson's bird of paradise is an exotic and colorful species found only in the Raja Ampat Islands of Indonesia. Its vibrant plumage and striking head pattern make it one of the most unique birds in the world. Its rarity and beauty make it especially valuable for conservation. John Edwards, a 26-year-old passionate about caving, experienced a tragedy that shocked many. During a family expedition, he became trapped in a narrow cave with no way to rescue him. His story, marked by adventure and risk, remains a somber reminder of the relentlessness of nature. Xin Minang, also known as Yang, is a Chinese bodybuilder recognized as one of the pioneers of the discipline in his nation. At 74, he amazes the world with a remarkably youthful appearance and enviable physique. His perseverance and healthy lifestyle have made him a source of inspiration. Adam Lyons is in a polyamorous relationship with 2 women, forming an unconventional family together. Despite emotional challenges such as jealousy and managing priorities, they say they live in harmony and share parenting responsibilities, strengthening their family bond. The Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge is a sprawling about 34-mile infrastructure linking 3 key cities in the Pearl River Delta. Combining elevated spans and underwater tunnels, it facilitates transportation between important economic zones and stands as a remarkable achievement of modern engineering in Asia. In 2002, adventurer Steve Fawcett became the first person to circumnavigate the globe solo and nonstop in a balloon. He took off from Northam, Western Australia, aboard the Spirit of Freedom and completed the flight almost 2 weeks later in Queensland. It was his 7th attempt and an absolute milestone in modern ballooning. A continuous journey propelled by high-altitude currents, meteorological precision, and extraordinary endurance. On the Cordoba Plain, near General Lavalle, a farmer drew a gigantic guitar in the landscape as a tribute to his wife. Thousands of hand-planted trees form the body, neck, and tuning pegs, a figure only appreciated in all its splendor from the sky. In Wola, Warsaw, a gap between party walls was converted into a capsule dwelling, the Carrot House. Designed by Jakub Szczesny and unveiled in 2012, its narrowest point is just about 36 inches. With a metal frame and 2 compact levels, It houses tiny, tunnel-like spaces and serves as a temporary residence for creators. Dedicated to the writer Etgar Keret, it demonstrates that the city also inhabits its crevices. Li Hongbo, a contemporary Chinese sculptor, has surprised the art world with his figures made entirely of paper, which at first glance appear to be traditional sculptures. However, when touched, they reveal an accordion-like internal structure inspired by the way corduroy is folded. This allows them to stretch and deform fluidly, challenging the usual rigidity of sculpture. In India, there is a one-of-a-kind museum, the Museum of Unusual Cars, where vehicles with completely unusual shapes are exhibited. From cars that look like hamburgers to those designed as sneakers, cameras, or fruit, each model is a work of art on wheels. This collection was created by Kei Sudhakar, an artist and motor enthusiast who fused creativity and mechanics. The Japanese giant crab is one of the most impressive crustaceans in the marine world. It is distinguished by its triangular shell and extremely long legs, which can reach up to about 9 feet 10 inches in span. It lives in the depths of the Pacific Ocean near the coast of Japan, where it moves slowly along the seafloor. The roosterfish, a striking species of the tropical and subtropical seas of the Atlantic, owes its name to its distinctive dorsal fin. This elongated, wavy fin rises like a crest on its back, reminiscent of that of a rooster. Its body is slender and silvery, ideal for moving agilely through ocean currents. Maurice Tillet, nicknamed by some as the real Shrek, was a French-born professional wrestler who rose to fame in the 1940s. He suffered from acromegaly, a condition caused by an excess of growth hormones, which significantly altered his facial and body features. Despite his unusual appearance, he had a successful career in wrestling, where he was known as the French Angel. Royal Deluxe is a French street theater company known for bringing to life enormous wooden puppets, some up to about 49 feet tall. These colossal figures, manipulated by dozens of puppeteers, parade through cities telling moving and fantastical stories. Their presence transforms the urban landscape into a magical setting that captivates both young and old. Olympic swimmer Mireia Belmonte performed an unusual experiment by training inside an inflatable bubble connected to the exhaust pipe of a Hyundai Nexo. This hydrogen-powered vehicle emits only water vapor instead of polluting gases. The aim of the action was to demonstrate the purity of the air expelled by this type of sustainable automobile. The silky chicken, also known as the Japanese silkie, is an unmistakable breed of bird for its soft, cottony plumage, similar to the fur of a stuffed animal. Although compact and firm, its body is covered in fluffy feathers that give it a unique appearance. It is a light, docile species, highly prized for both its appearance and its calm temperament. According to official records from 2024, surfer Sebastian Steutner achieved a historic feat off the coast of Nazaré, Portugal. Braving the mighty Atlantic swell, he managed to ride a colossal wave about 94 feet high. This unprecedented feat earned him the world record. His bravery and skill on the board astonished the world of extreme sports. During the winter season in Japan, a fascinating event takes place on the shores of Lake Akan, where the cold creates a natural spectacle known as the Ice Flower Festival. This event attracts visitors who are amazed by the crystalline beauty that forms on the frozen surface of the lake. A feat that defies human logic was accomplished by Shamika Charles, who managed to pass under a bar placed just about 8.3 inches above the ground. This impressive achievement in the limbo discipline requires extraordinary flexibility and body control. Shamika trained for years to achieve this feat, becoming a symbol of dedication and personal improvement. The upside-down house in Trassenheide, Germany, opened in 2008 as a striking tourist attraction, literally built upside down. With the roof on the ground and the foundation in the air, it offers visitors the sensation of walking in an upside-down world. Its interior is also designed upside down. Furniture, appliances, and decorations hang from the ceiling, creating a disconcerting visual effect. The Moreland Cycle Tunnel in San Sebastian is one of the city's most unique urban infrastructures. Originally built for rail traffic, it was converted into a dedicated pedestrian and bicycle tunnel. It stretches over about 2,625 feet, facilitating the connection between different neighborhoods in San Sebastian. The Croix-Rousse Tunnel in France is a road structure that crosses the hill of the same name. It opened in 1952 and over time became a key connection between the banks of the Rhône and Saône rivers. A second parallel tunnel was added in 2013, intended for pedestrians, cyclists, and public transport. One of its unique features is its artistic lighting and visual projections. The Australian green tree frog is recognized for its striking emerald color and bright appearance. It adapts to living in trees and shrubs, where it remains active at night. It is one of the most prized species for its docility and charming appearance. However, forest loss and pollution have put its populations at risk. The sculpture known as Christ of the Abyss is submerged in the waters of San Frutuoso on the Italian coast. It was installed in the 1950s as a symbol of peace and protection for divers and sailors. Over time, salt and corrosion severely deteriorated the original work, leading to its replacement. For this reason, a faithful replica was placed in the same location in 2003. One of the world's most beautiful wisteria trees is found in the Ashikaga Flower Park in Japan, where this majestic, centuries-old flowering tree displays its hanging clusters in shades of lilac and pink, creating a natural spectacle that seems straight out of a fairy tale. Its structure is carefully supported by lattices that allow visitors to walk under a shower of flowers during the blooming season, which typically takes place in spring. Elisane Silva is a model originally from Brazil who has garnered international attention for her impressive height of about 6 feet 9 inches. Her height, the result of a growth spurt during adolescence, has made her a prominent figure in the fashion world. In Serbia, as a response to the lack of green space in cities, so-called liquid trees have been implemented. These innovative structures simulate the function of a real tree through water and microalgae, helping to purify urban air. They represent a creative solution to air pollution. Dorothy Steele began her artistic career when most had already stopped working. After retiring, she discovered acting at 88 and began with small roles in local productions. Her charisma and energy attracted attention, leading her to Hollywood in an unexpected role, joining the cast of Black Panther. There she played an elderly woman from the nation of Wakanda, winning over audiences and showing that talent has no expiration date. Beryozka is a Russian stage dance in which a female ensemble advances with a gliding step so smooth it appears to levitate. Popularized by the ensemble founded by Nadezhda Nadejdina in 1948, they wear long skirts that conceal their feet and sometimes hold birch twigs, creating the illusion of floating above the stage. Juanita, known as the Lady of Amparo, is an Inca mummy discovered in 1995 in the snows of the Amparo volcano in Peru. She was approximately 13 years old when she was sacrificed as part of a religious ritual over 500 years ago. Thanks to the extreme cold of the mountain, her body was preserved in exceptional condition, making her considered one of the best preserved mummies in the world. In the city of Beppu, Japan, lies the so-called Bloody Pool, one of the most impressive hot springs in the country. Its intense red color is due to the high concentration of iron oxides and other volcanic compounds present in its waters. This natural phenomenon, in addition to being spectacular, reflects the intense geothermal activity of the region. Sergei Shevchenko is an artist who has taken balloon art to a surprising level, transforming simple, inflatable materials into highly detailed and creative sculptures. His works range from human and animal figures to complex theme settings. With skill and patience, he combines colors, shapes, and volumes to bring ephemeral yet striking compositions to life. In the city of Takayama, Japan, the Autumn Festival is an ancient celebration that dazzles with its magical atmosphere. During the festive nights, the community gathers to perform traditional dances around large bonfires, illuminated by moonlight. The streets are filled with lanterns, music, and exquisitely decorated floats. The Airbus Beluga XL is a large cargo aircraft, recognized for its unique design reminiscent of a whale. Its rounded shape and elevated cabin allow it to transport aircraft parts of enormous dimensions. Visually inspired by the beluga whale, it even features a painting of eyes and a smile, reinforcing its nickname. In the middle of the Drina River in Serbia, a picturesque house stands on a solitary rock, surrounded by water. This unusual dwelling, built by a group of young people in the 1960s, has withstood floods, storms, and even the force of time. Its isolated silhouette has become a symbol of resilience and harmony with nature. On the island of Tanna, in Vanuatu, there is a community where the ancestral language of Kwamera is an essential requirement for residents. Its inhabitants have decided to preserve their language and culture as a barrier against the effects of globalization. Only those who master this indigenous language are allowed to settle there permanently. Even visitors are encouraged to learn basic expressions as a sign of respect. Knickers is an Australian bull that has become famous for its unusual dimensions. Standing nearly 6 feet 7 inches tall and weighing about 2,200 pounds, its imposing presence makes it stand out from other livestock. Its size has surprised both farmers and internet users around the world. Although it does not belong to a giant breed, its development far exceeded the norm. The growler is a hybrid species born from the cross between a polar bear and a grizzly bear. This unusual specimen combines physical traits and behaviors of both species. Although rare, its appearance has become more frequent in areas where the habitats of both bears overlap due to climate change. Its existence raises questions about adaptation and evolution in an increasingly altered environment. The Tibetan Mastiff, a majestic dog breed originating from China, stands out for its impressive coat of thick, long hair. This double coat protects it from extreme climates, especially in mountainous regions. Its imposing appearance and protective nature have made it a symbol of power and nobility. Traditionally, it was used to guard monasteries and villages. The albino peacock, a variant of the blue peacock, displays completely white plumage due to leucism. It shows the same fan-shaped tail as the common form, but with a snowy sheen. Although it appears fragile, it is not a sick animal, but a hereditary variation prized in zoos, gardens, and private reserves. In Virginia, United States, there's a peculiar farm that houses enormous busts of the country's 43 former presidents. Each sculpture, standing over 10 feet tall, displays detailed facial features in a monumental air. Originally part of a theme park, they were relocated to this rural property. Over time, the pieces have cracked and discolored, giving them an even more imposing appearance. Josef Salek, a grandfather originally from the Czech Republic, achieved an impressive world record in 2023. He held a plank position for over 10 hours straight, demonstrating extraordinary physical endurance. With this feat, he surpassed much younger competitors and caught the attention of the world. The Lucy Mud Volcano, located on the island of Java, Indonesia, is one of the most unusual in the world. Since 2006, it has continuously ejected huge amounts of hot mud that have covered entire villages. Its origin is believed to be related to gas drilling in the area and seismic movements. The Tateyama Kurobe Alpine Route in Japan is a tourist route famous for its spectacular mountain scenery. It stretches for about 56 miles and connects the prefectures of Toyama and Nagano. One of its biggest attractions is the impressive snow corridor, where the icy walls can exceed about 49 feet in height during the spring. The great hornbill is an exotic bird native to Southeast Asia. It is distinguished by its imposing beak adorned with a bright yellow cap that makes it unmistakable. Its plumage combines shades of black and white that stand out when flying through the dense jungle. This species typically inhabits tropical forests and depends on large trees for nesting. Deer Cave, located in Gunung Mulu National Park in Malaysian Borneo, is one of the most impressive caves in the world, not only for its enormous size but also for its home to millions of bats. At dusk, they emerge in long, undulating columns, forming a fascinating natural spectacle that attracts numerous visitors every day. This daily phenomenon is not only visually striking, but also vital to the ecosystem. Red pandas adopt an upright posture, rearing up on their hind legs and extending their claws as a strategy to appear larger when faced with potential threats. This allows them to intimidate their opponents or communicate with other members of their species. In addition to this defensive behavior, their strong, curved claws play an essential role in their daily lives, allowing them to climb trees with great agility and find food and shelter. James Cook is a talented British artist who has captured worldwide attention for his unconventional technique. He creates detailed and beautiful illustrations using only a typewriter. Without pencil or brush, he composes portraits, landscapes, and complex scenes based on symbols and letters, combining precision, patience, and creativity. Eric Franklin is a contemporary artist known for his anatomical sculptures made entirely of blown glass. His works depict human skulls and skeletons and incorporate neon tubes inside that emit a luminous glow in the dark. His work fuses art, science, and technology with a unique and hypnotic style. The Mangalica pig is a unique breed of pig native to Hungary, easily recognizable by its curly, woolly coat, similar to that of a sheep. This species is highly valued for the texture and superior flavor of its meat, especially in the production of fine sausages. Its breeding combines tradition and culinary quality. Bamboo Cycles is an innovative Mexican company that designs bicycles with frames made of bamboo, a natural, lightweight, and resistant material. These structures are reinforced with carbon fiber at key points to ensure durability and performance. The combination of sustainability and technology has made these bicycles an ecological and functional option. Centuripe, a picturesque town in the heart of Sicily, has captured worldwide attention for a curious characteristic. Its urban layout, seen from the air, draws the shape of a human being with arms and legs outstretched. This almost perfect silhouette was not planned with artistic intent, but rather emerged naturally over time. The image has fascinated photographers, travelers, and curious onlookers alike. In Egypt, a curious video went viral, showing a stray dog resting atop the Great Pyramid of Giza. The image of the animal, serene and solitary atop one of the most iconic structures of the ancient world, shocked thousands of internet users. Many wondered how it managed to reach the summit, a normally inaccessible place. The famous Lovers of Hassanlu were discovered at an archaeological site in Iran, two human skeletons in a touching final embrace. Their posture suggested a kiss at the moment of death, capturing the attention of researchers and the public. This moving scene remained frozen in time for more than 2,800 years. The giant Pacific octopus, a colossus of cold waters from Japan to Alaska, can deploy an arm span of nearly about 29.5 feet. It is a master of camouflage, altering color and texture in seconds. It often lives alone and hunts crustaceans, fish, and mollusks, combining remarkable strength with surprising intelligence. In Denmark, a circular bridge stands composed of 5 independent sections that can move and open like petals to allow the passage of tall vessels. When there is no nautical traffic, the pieces fit back together and allow pedestrian access, combining precise engineering with striking and functional urban design. In the city of Tianducheng, China, a replica of the Eiffel Tower was erected as part of an urban development project. Popularly known as the Paris of the East, it also features European-style avenues and buildings. The tower stands about 354 feet tall, approximately one-third of the original in Paris, and was built to attract residents and tourists, though early occupancy was low. The Gois Passage, located on the Atlantic coast of France, connects the island of Noirmoutier to the mainland. It is a causeway completely covered by the sea during high tides. Twice a day, it disappears underwater, making the crossing a risky experience. Signs and strict schedules indicate when it is safe to cross. Lombard Street, located in San Francisco, United States, is one of the most famous streets in the world thanks to its uniquely sloped section, which includes 8 sharp turns built to reduce the natural grade and facilitate vehicular traffic. This winding stretch, framed by flower gardens and picturesque houses, has become a city icon constantly photographed by visitors. In New Zealand, there is a very unique church known as Tree Church. It was created using carefully pruned living trees trained on a metal support structure, forming a natural temple that harmoniously combines architecture and gardening. Mount Olympus, at an altitude of about 9,570 feet, is the highest peak in Greece and stands out both for its geographical grandeur and its profound mythological symbolism. In ancient times, it was considered the sacred abode of Zeus and the 12 Olympian gods, giving it a divine character in Greek culture. In Bangladesh, during holiday periods, thousands of people without sufficient means resort to traveling in precarious conditions. Many cling to the roofs or sides of trains, defying regulations and risking their lives to return to their families. Although it represents a real danger, for many it is the only viable transportation option. In Chongqing, a megacity in southwest China, urban planning has led to a surprising solution: trains that pass through residential buildings. The monorail tracks are integrated into the architecture of certain towers, literally passing through their interiors without affecting their structure. Far from causing a nuisance, residents value the system's efficiency, which reduces distances and improves accessibility. The blue lobster is a marine rarity that occurs in only 1 in 2 million individuals. Its unusual color is due to a genetic mutation that causes an overproduction of certain proteins, which combine with pigments to create an intense, bright blue hue. Deep in the ocean, off the Japanese island of Yonaguni, lies an enigmatic submerged formation that has sparked international debate. The structure features geometric shapes with what appear to be steps, terraces, and platforms carved into rock. Some researchers maintain that it is an artificial construction of an ancient civilization. Scorpion venom is considered the most valuable liquid on the planet, reaching prices close to 113 million euros per gallon. Extremely difficult to obtain, it contains biochemical properties of great medical interest, used in research to detect cancer cells and in experimental treatments for diabetes. St. Petersburg, Russia, is famous for its churches and cathedrals with onion-shaped domes, a distinctive architectural style. These brightly colored and gilded structures draw on Eastern traditions that reach the country through Persian and Mongolian influences. Their pointed profiles also serve a practical purpose by helping prevent snow accumulation. The Dumbo octopus, named for its ear-like fins reminiscent of the Disney character, lives in the ocean depths between about 6,600 and 16,400 feet. Adapted to darkness and extreme pressure, it moves gracefully by flapping its fins and tentacles. Unlike other octopuses, it does not expel ink, which would be useless in its environment. The Flatiron Building in New York City is one of the world's most iconic early skyscrapers. Distinguished by a triangular floor plan reminiscent of a clothing iron, hence Flatiron, it sits at the intersection of Fifth Avenue and Broadway and marked a milestone in modern architecture of its time. At Victoria Falls, on the border between Zimbabwe and Zambia, lies the famous Devil's Pool. This natural pool forms at the very edge of the waterfall. During the dry season, when the flow subsides, visitors can bathe there in relative safety, peering just inches from the plunge as water rushes into the abyss. A striking winter phenomenon occurs on the shores of Lake Michigan. Low temperatures, combined with wind and waves, mold ice fragments into spheres. These ice balls can range from pebble-sized to roughly soccer ball-sized, lining the beach in a strange, spectacular scene that draws visitors and photographers. The Ruyi Bridge in China is a futuristic pedestrian structure opened in 2020. Its undulating, intertwined walkways, loosely inspired by the form of DNA, give it a sculptural, dynamic appearance that attracts both tourists and architecture lovers. Serving as an elevated viewing platform, it offers sweeping panoramas as visitors traverse its sinuous surface. An impressive robotic figure inspired by the Gundam universe was built in Shanghai. Its life-size, highly detailed design caused a huge impact when it was officially unveiled in 2021, marking a technological and cultural milestone for China. It includes a functional mechanical system capable of executing coordinated movements, demonstrating the advancement of engineering applied to entertainment and pop culture in the Asian country. The Mercedes-Benz logo, represented by a three-pointed star within a circle, is a symbol full of meaning that reflects the German brand's ambition to achieve dominance in three fundamental areas: land, sea, and air. The bald uakari is a unique monkey that inhabits the Amazon rainforest, easily recognizable by its intensely red, completely hairless face. This facial feature, in addition to being striking, may indicate its health within the species. Its body, covered in light, fluffy fur, contrasts markedly with its uncovered head. A hummingbird, despite its incredible energy and speed, can weigh only about 0.07 ounces. This tiny weight makes it one of the lightest birds in the world. To put it in perspective, it is even lighter than a U.S. penny, which weighs around 0.09 ounces. Its fragility contrasts with its ability to beat its wings up to 80 times per second. The mandarin duck is a bird native to East Asia, famous for the brilliance and variety of colors in its plumage. Males display shades of orange, blue, green, and white, making it one of the most striking animals on the planet. Thanks to its striking appearance, it often lives in parks and gardens, where it has been introduced as an ornamental species. The world's largest chocolate fountain is located at the Lindholm of Chocolate Museum in Zurich, Switzerland. Standing out for its impressive design, it reaches over about 29.5 feet in height, with a constant flow of delicious liquid chocolate falling from a huge suspended spoon. This masterpiece is not only a visual attraction, but also a tribute to the Swiss chocolate tradition. In Indonesia, Lake Pisupok boasts extreme transparency, almost like liquid glass. At first glance, it appears dark, and many believe the water is black. But the deceptive effect begins deep down. Vegetation and substrates are reflected and tint the surface from below. There's an invention called a liquid tree that works like a plant of the future. It's actually a transparent cylinder filled with microalgae capable of absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen. It's estimated that a single device can do the work of 2 adult trees. It was developed in Serbia to clean the air in cities with little green space, and algae can also be used to produce biofuels. Surely you've ever felt like someone was watching you, and when you turned around, your suspicion was confirmed. This phenomenon is known as scopaesthesia, the supposed ability to perceive a gaze. Although not scientifically proven, it is believed to combine intuition, peripheral vision, and evolution. Some see it as a sixth sense, while others explain it as a simple trick of the mind. Deep in the ocean, pearlfish lead a rather peculiar life. These small, silvery creatures live inside the anus of sea cucumbers, taking advantage of their host's lack of teeth. There they find shelter, oxygen, and even food. Although it sounds disgusting, it's a surprising and unique natural survival strategy. Electrostatic discharge is that tiny spark we feel when we touch someone or a metal object. It occurs when electrons accumulate in our bodies due to friction and are then suddenly released. It can reach 25,000 volts, although the current is minimal and poses no danger. It's basically the same phenomenon that causes lightning, but in a pocket version. In Ukraine, there's a place straight out of a fairy tale, the Tunnel of Love. It's a natural passage formed by trees that grew around an industrial train track. Over the years, the branches adapted to the path of the train cars, creating a perfectly arched green corridor. Today, it's a romantic destination where, according to legend, couples' wishes come true. The idea of downloading knowledge directly to the brain is no longer just science fiction. In 2011, researchers managed to improve flying skills with electrical brain stimulation. The goal is to connect humans to neural databases, to learn as if we were installing apps. Imagine acquiring a language, an instrument, or piloting drones in minutes. There is a material that surpasses steel in strength and yet floats in water. It's called Dyneema and is 15 times stronger than metal. It's used in bulletproof vests, spacesuits, rescue ropes, and even in sailboats that face hurricanes. Its secret lies in a polymeric structure that combines lightness and extreme strength. The largest living thing on the planet isn't a whale, but an underground fungus. It's Armillaria ostoyae, which occupies more than 3.5 miles beneath a forest in Oregon. It's about 2,400 years old and feeds on living trees, spreading like an invisible web. Although we only see small mushrooms in the fall, its true body is underground. The oceans also suffer from a form of osteoporosis. This occurs because they absorb carbon dioxide, which makes the water more acidic. The change dissolves the calcium carbonate that corals, mollusks, and plankton need to form shells and skeletons. Without this foundation, the entire marine food chain is at risk, also affecting humanity. Director Guillermo del Toro created a private sanctuary dedicated to the imagination. Called Black House, it's filled with books, life-size figures, props from his films, and strange automatons. It has secret rooms, display cases with oddities, and even a room where it always rains. For him, surrounding himself with monsters is the best way to create. The heaviest horse in history was named Brooklyn Supreme. This Belgian giant reached a weight of about 3,200 pounds and was almost 6 feet 7 inches tall. His horseshoes measured about 30 inches, a size worthy of exhibition. He was shown at various fairs in the United States and lived to be 20 years old. In the 1950s, a hairstyle emerged that became a symbol of rebellion, the elephant trunk. It consisted of pulling the hair forward and forming a thick curl on the forehead. Greasers popularized it alongside rock and roll. Achieving it required tons of hairspray and a defiant attitude. There is a rare disorder in which people believe their loved ones have been replaced by imposters. It's called Capgras syndrome and occurs when the brain shuts off visual recognition of emotion. Sufferers see a familiar face but feel it doesn't belong to that person. Sometimes they even extend this to their pets or homes. Pen caps have a hole in them for a vital reason. It was designed to reduce the risk of suffocation should someone accidentally swallow it. The small hole allows air to pass through, increasing the chances of survival. A simple detail that demonstrates how design can save lives. Mirrors are created by applying a metallic coating to smooth glass. Usually, aluminum or silver is used, bonded through chemical or physical processes. This reflective layer is protected with paint to prevent oxidation. Mercury was once used, a toxic metal that seems unthinkable today. The Vatican is the place with the highest per capita wine consumption in the world. With only 800 inhabitants, it's estimated that each person drinks more than 18 gallons a year. Wine is part of masses, official banquets, and daily traditions. Furthermore, there is no alcohol tax, which means that it always flows abundantly. The drinks business. In New Zealand, the Waitomo Caves are reminiscent of an underground galaxy. Glowworms hang from the ceiling like living stars. They glow to attract their prey, creating a hypnotic natural spectacle. Visitors can tour the cave by boat under the sky of blue lights. Waitomo. Mosquitoes have a much more complex mouth than they appear. Their proboscis contains 47 sharp structures like microscopic teeth. They use them to pierce the skin with precision and suck blood. Only females bite, as they need protein to produce eggs, and their saliva causes the annoying itching. Today, there is a new profession called data curator. They are experts in organizing, cleaning, and classifying millions of digital data points. They act as modern-day librarians who enable artificial intelligence to learn efficiently. In a world saturated with information, their work is essential for the technological future. Leonardo da Vinci also dreamed of flying machines. Among his inventions, he designed a primitive helicopter shaped like a giant linen screw. Although it never flew, the idea was one of the first approaches to vertical flight. His vision inspired generations of engineers who did manage to take off. The smiling poop emoji actually began as an innocent chocolate ice cream. Its spiral shape and brown color led the world to interpret it differently. In the end, it remained a humorous symbol and is now one of the most widely used, a viral accident turned digital icon. Terraforming is one of humanity's most ambitious ideas. It involves modifying planets like Mars to make them habitable. The task would require climate engineering, synthetic biology, and atmospheric control. What is theoretical today is already being studied by space agencies and private companies. Artificial blood is advancing as a medical alternative. There are projects based on bovine hemoglobin and others on human nanoparticles. Both seek to mimic the function of transporting oxygen without the need for donations. It doesn't require refrigeration, works for any blood type, and could revolutionize medical emergencies. Biocomputing proposes using enzymes, bacteria, and DNA as processors. Experiments already exist that solve mathematical problems within a cell. These living machines could self-repair and consume little energy. They could even be used in the colonization of Mars, monitoring microscopic ecosystems in real time. An unexpected find has left Michael Jackson fans speechless. 12 previously unreleased songs recorded between 1989 and 1991, just before the album Dangerous, have appeared in an abandoned California warehouse. Although their exact value is unknown, it is estimated they could fetch millions of dollars at international auctions. Music collectors are already dreaming of hearing about these hidden treasures. Elon Musk broke a seemingly impossible record, amassing a fortune of $400 billion. The owner of Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink not only became the richest man on the planet, but also extended his lead over Jeff Bezos by more than $140 billion. His wealth puts him in a position almost unattainable for other billionaires. The art world was also shaken up by Aida, the first ultra-realistic humanoid robot capable of painting, writing poetry, and sculpting. This creation by Engineer Arts has already sold a work for more than $1 million. Her presence at events like the Venice Biennale has sparked debates about what it means to be an artist in an era dominated by artificial intelligence. If you've ever dreamed of driving the Batmobile, Warner Brothers has given you a unique opportunity. Only 10 replicas of the vehicle from Christopher Nolan's trilogy went on sale for $3 million each. The buyers were carefully selected, turning these pieces into true collector's items. Owning one of these is like owning a piece of cinematic history. Sleep also entered the high-tech era with the 8 Sleep Pod 4 Ultra. This system promises the most comfortable sleep thanks to a silent design, snore detection, temperature control, and biometric monitoring. It even allows you to adjust its functions with a simple touch without having to use your cell phone. Sleep has never sounded so futuristic. Ashgabat, the capital of Turkmenistan, seems like something out of a fairy tale. This city holds Guinness World Records for having the most marble buildings, a carpet museum with giant pieces, and a star-shaped television tower. Its streets shine white under the desert sun, turning it into a setting worthy of science fiction. Huawei introduced Neuralink, a wireless technology that threatens to dethrone Bluetooth. This innovation allows data transmission 6 times faster, with lower power consumption and the ability to connect more devices simultaneously. A small manuscript was discovered in Germany that changed history. With just 13 lines, written in the 4th or 5th century, this document reveals episodes from the childhood of Jesus Christ. Among them is the famous story in which, at just 5 years old, he transformed clay sparrows into real birds. In Portugal, a priest became a sensation of the night. Father Guilherme, in addition to giving Mass, works as a DJ in renowned clubs in the country. His mixes with Guns N' Roses and AC/DC have made him famous, demonstrating that religious life and electronic music can coexist in unexpected ways. In Siberia, scientists found the remains of a nearly intact 50,000-year-old female mammoth. Named Lana, this specimen is just over 3 feet 3 inches tall and weighs about 397 pounds. Its extraordinary preservation makes it one of the most important fossils in the world, sparking new research into the Ice Age. China surprised everyone with a spherical robot designed for urban patrol. This device, similar to BB-8 Sphero from Star Wars, can move on land and water, withstand impacts, and even launch nets or tear gas. Its purpose is to strengthen security in hostile environments, although it generates debate about the future of social control. The city of Zhuhai, China, built the world's largest indoor theme park, Chimlong Spaceship Park. With an investment of more than $1.4 billion, it offers a colossal aquarium, giant motion simulators, and attractions that combine education and fun. At a zoo, a group of monkeys went viral after inventing their own game. The 4 animals formed a train, holding each other's waists and walking in a line around their enclosure. The moment was captured by visitors and quickly took over social media with thousands of endearing comments. The digital universe is also creating new stars. Aitana, a virtual influencer generated by artificial intelligence, has already accumulated hundreds of thousands of followers and is earning money from sponsorships. This phenomenon shows how computer-generated figures are beginning to compete with real-life influencers. A Dutch artist, Bernout Smiled, fascinated by clouds, found a way to sculpt them. Using water vapor and smoke, he creates artificial clouds that he places in architectural spaces such as churches and Turkish baths. His ephemeral art, captured in photographs, combines the natural with the impossible and leaves the viewer in a state of wonder. In Rome, the Trevi Fountain reopened with limited access. Now only 400 people can visit at a time, reducing the chaos of crowds. A maintenance fee is also being considered. With 12,000 visitors daily and thousands of coins withdrawn each week, the fountain remains an eternal symbol. Science took an unexpected leap forward by demonstrating quantum teleportation through optical fibers. This breakthrough allows information to be transmitted securely using entangled particles that interact remotely without a physical connection, a technology that could transform communications in the future. A recent study revealed that some tea bags release millions of microplastics when immersed in hot water. These tiny particles end up in our bodies, posing health risks that include immunological and reproductive problems. One more reason to consider more natural alternatives. Jackie Chan shocked the world by announcing that he will donate his entire fortune, valued at $400 million, to charity. According to him, his son will have to earn a living on his own. With this decision, the legendary actor demonstrated that his legacy will be more charitable than material. Chinese companies unveiled humanoid robots designed to perform domestic and industrial tasks. 1,000 units are planned to be manufactured before the end of the year, surpassing the advances of American companies like Tesla. Whether wheeled or bipedal, these robots mark the beginning of a new era in automated work. In Australia, McDonald's launched a limited collection of candles scented with French fries, a McFlurry, and apple pie. These unusual fragrances, designed for fans of the brand, quickly sold out. A unique way to bring the fast food experience into your home. Saudi Arabia is moving forward with its Neom mega project, a futuristic city in the middle of the desert. To accelerate its construction, the country is investing in robots that work day and night. The initiative is part of its plan to stop relying on oil and become a global center for tourism and sustainability. Gastronomy is also entering the world of 3D printing. An Italian company unveiled a portable printer capable of drawing images on coffee, cookies, and beer in just seconds. With thousands of possible prints, this tool promises to revolutionize marketing and personalization in the kitchen. Mr. Beast took his challenges to the next level by building an entire $14 million city. The location was designed as a stage for his Beast Games program, where participants coexisted and competed in extreme tests. A venture that demonstrates how far creativity can go on the internet. A drone show in the United States broke the world record with 5,000 devices lighting up the sky for 30 minutes. Synchronized figures, accompanied by music, replaced fireworks in an eco-friendly and dazzling way. A new entertainment format that is spreading across the planet. The Rolls-Royce brand was born from a chance encounter in 1904. Charles Rolls, an aristocrat passionate about cars, met Henry Royce, a brilliant engineer who had created a smooth and quiet car for its time. Rolls was fascinated by his invention and decided to sell it under his name. Thus, one of the most iconic brands in the automotive world was born. Deep in the Florida Sea lies the Christ of the Abyss. This bronze statue, about 8 feet 10 inches tall, was placed to honor those who lost their lives at sea. It also serves as an attraction for divers and a symbol of underwater peace. It is located in Key Largo, within the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary. Although they look like coins, the Rolex Cellini gold coin is actually a hidden timepiece. Crafted in 22 and 18-karat gold, it embodies a luxurious and discreet design. Its caseback reveals a manual winding mechanism from the 1960s and 1970s. Today, it's a rare and valuable piece that can cost up to $25,000. In China, facial recognition has become part of everyday life. It's used to pay for food, enter schools, or even evaluate workers. The technology analyzes facial shape and converts features into identifiable data in milliseconds. This system also tracks behavioral patterns and identifies people in seconds. When a dog looks at you while doing its business, it's no coincidence. In the wild, this moment makes them vulnerable, and they seek protection from their pack. At home, they see their owners as that security figure. They can also expect treats or approval if they've been trained with positive reinforcement. Solar-powered laser beacons have been installed in the Saudi Arabian desert. These lights guide lost travelers to water sources, visible up to about 6 points 2 miles away. The initiative began with 11 points, with the goal of increasing to 100 in the future. The Buton tribe in Indonesia has a surprising trait. Some of its members have blue eyes. This is due to a genetic condition called Waardenburg syndrome. It doesn't come from a European admixture, but from a spontaneous mutation. Generation after generation, the trait continues to attract attention in the region. The first sperm race was organized in Los Angeles. The event sought to raise awareness about male reproductive health. A track was designed to simulate the reproductive system, and 200 selected sperm samples participated. Although it seems like a game, it had medical supervision and even Olympic dreams. The secretary bird is an African bird of prey with long legs and a distinctive crest. Its name comes from the ancient British secretaries who wore feathers behind their ears. It is famous for hunting on land and for its powerful kicks, capable of killing poisonous snakes. Its role is vital to the balance of the ecosystem. Being silent also transforms the brain. Studies show that 2 hours of quiet every day can stimulate the creation of new neurons in the hippocampus. This area is linked to memory and emotions. Silence helps reorganize the mind and improves concentration and emotional health. A 9-year-old girl found a 5.1-inch megalodon tooth in Maryland. The fossil, between 15 and 25 million years old, belonged to a shark up to about 49 feet long. Molly, passionate about paleontology, had already collected hundreds of teeth. This find was the most impressive in her collection. Brazilian photographer Daniel Antoniol decided to steal the moon in images. With ingenuity and perfect angles, he made it look like a balloon, an object in a wheelbarrow, or even stored in a car. His series of photos combines creativity and humor, a fun way to bring art closer to the everyday. 2 British artists found beauty in trash. Their shadow sculptures organize common objects and project impressive figures when illuminated. They can show portraits or entire scenes created only with waste. It's an art that transforms the ordinary into something poetic and surprising. In Costa Rica, they discovered a glass frog that looks like something straight out of the Muppets. Its large white eyes are reminiscent of Kermit the Frog, but its translucent belly makes it even more special. It is the first of its kind recorded in the country since 1943. A unique find in herpetology. The summer sofa is not just any armchair. With voice commands, it transforms into a seat for reading, sleeping, playing, or rocking. It can swivel, rock, and recline with ease. It's also scratch and liquid resistant, all for under $300. The comfort of the future is here. Snowflake, the only known albino gorilla, lived in Barcelona. He was brought to the zoo in 1966 and became a global symbol. His rarity was due to inbreeding, which caused him health problems. He died in 2003, but his story is still remembered in science and popular culture. A revolutionary male contraceptive is in development. It's a hydrogel injection called Atom that blocks the passage of sperm. Unlike vasectomies, it is reversible and requires no surgery. In tests, it was effective for up to 2 years without serious side effects. A promise for the future of fertility. Jan van Eyck's Arnolfini portrait continues to amaze centuries later. The work contains a tiny mirror that reflects the entire room with astonishing realism. Thanks to the oil painting technique, he achieved a level of detail impossible for his time. Its mystery and perfection make it a landmark of art. Misophonia is a condition that makes certain everyday sounds unbearable. Chewing, breathing loudly, or slurping can trigger anxiety or anger in those who suffer from it. The problem is believed to stem from abnormal connections between the brain and emotions, a reality invisible to many, but very intense for those who experience it. Before becoming a global phenomenon, SpongeBob SquarePants was called Spongy Boy. Its creator, Steven Hillenburg, combined marine biology with animation to bring this character to life. The sea was the perfect setting for his absurd and optimistic stories. Since 1999, the series has maintained its freshness and worldwide success. Diamonds are valuable on our planet, but they are abundant in the universe. It is believed that diamonds rain down on Neptune and Uranus, and giant blocks of pure carbon exist in white dwarf stars. Wood and water, on the other hand, are scarce resources outside of Earth. Perhaps that attracts aliens more than our jewelry. In 1899, Nikola Tesla was photographed among lightning bolts in his Colorado laboratory. He used giant coils capable of generating millions of volts and discharges up to about 131 feet. His goal was to transmit energy wirelessly on a massive scale. In the Namibian desert, there's a pink refrigerator stocked with cold drinks. It runs on solar panels and amazes travelers under the scorching sun day. It's a tourism initiative designed for those crossing these arid landscapes, an unexpected detail that seems like something out of a mirage. In Japan, Hitachi Seaside Park turns into a sea of blue every spring. More than 4.5 million Nemophila flowers cover the hills, creating a dreamlike landscape. The natural spectacle reaches its peak in April, a place that seems straight out of a fantasy story. In China, the world's deepest well is being drilled, at over 10,000 meters. The goal is to reach geological layers 500 million years old and explore oil reserves. Temperatures exceed 392 degrees Fahrenheit, and the pressure is extreme, a technological challenge that can also reveal Earth's secrets. There's an interactive map called CyberMap that displays cyber attacks occurring across the planet in real time on a three-dimensional globe. Each attack appears in colors and important symbols that resemble an invisible digital war. You can even see historical statistics in the most attacked countries of the day. It's like watching a global battle unfold before your eyes. But on the internet, imagine a chair that can train you, massage you, and help you rehabilitate. Such an invention exists and is called the BodyFriend 733, a futuristic chair worth $20,000. It has movable arms and legs, acupressure programs, heat, and specialized exercises. Everything is controlled with a touchscreen or an app, turning relaxation into a robotic experience. Borneo is home to the world's rarest carnivorous plant, Nepenthes raja, nicknamed the bath plant. It attracts insects and also shrews that feed on its nectar. While they enjoy themselves, they leave their waste inside, and the plant thus obtains vital nitrogen. A perfect symbiosis, food for the animal and natural fertilizer for the plant. A supermarket in Texas became a horror film in the 1990s. After it was abandoned, food was left inside without refrigeration, and the place became a biological hell. Toxic gases, mold, insects, and rats made it impossible to enter without special suits. Its cleanup cost more than $50,000 and was so gruesome it felt like a real horror movie. In 2021, an Italian artist sold an invisible sculpture for 15,000 euros. The work, called Io Sono, I am, cannot be seen because it doesn't physically exist. According to its creator, it represents condensed energy and invites reflection on emptiness. Some consider it a conceptual stroke of genius. Others criticize it as a mere artistic gimmick. Long before virtual reality headsets, Sensorama was invented in 1956. It was a huge arcade-style machine that projected three-dimensional movies, accompanied by vibrations, smells, and even real wind. The goal was to provide the viewer with a multi-sensory experience. Although it was ahead of its time, it never received the necessary support to be commercialized. The irresistible crunch of potato chips isn't a coincidence, but science. Famous brands adjust the thickness, type of oil, and sealing pressure to achieve a stronger, crispier sound. Studies show that our brain associates that noise with freshness and quality. In the end, our hearing deceives us, and we end up eating more than planned. In the depths of the sea lives the mysterious oarfish, an elongated, silvery fish with a red crest that can measure up to about 56 feet. It is considered the longest bony fish in the world and rarely appears at the surface. Its undulating shape has made it the protagonist of myths about sea monsters. Autonomous driving is closer than you think. A Japanese company created Pilot Auto, an open-source platform that allows universities and startups to experiment with driverless vehicles. The system is tested from the cloud and also processes real-time data directly in the cars. Russia once had a lost artistic gem known as the Amber Room. It was a room covered in carved amber, mirrors, and gold, valued at $500 million and considered the eighth wonder of the world. It was looted during World War II, and since then, no one knows where it is. In 2003, it was rebuilt, but the original remains missing. Coffee not only awakens the senses, it also speeds up digestion. Its caffeine stimulates the colon and activates a hormone called gastrin, which causes rapid bowel movements. Even decaffeinated coffee can have this effect due to other compounds. This is why many people feel the urge to go to the bathroom shortly after drinking it. In Madagascar, lemurs have a very peculiar habit. They rub themselves against poisonous millipedes. First, they gently bite them and then cover themselves with their secretion. This serves as a natural insect repellent, but also puts them in a trance-like state. Scientists believe they do this both for protection and pleasure. The famous Birkin bag was born almost by accident in 1984. Actress Jane Birkin complained on a flight about not finding a practical bag, and the director of Hermès designed one exclusively for her. Decades later, some models sell for millions at auction. Its rarity, handcrafting, and the story behind it have made it a symbol of luxury. Samsung introduced Bally, a small, ball-like household robot with artificial intelligence. It can control appliances, project videos on the walls, and even take care of pets when the owner is away. With its cameras and sensors, it patrols the house and learns each person's habits, a tender and futuristic assistant at the same time. In the 1950s, Rologon tires emerged, capable of moving on snow, sand, or mud without sinking. They operate at low pressure, which distributes the vehicle's weight and prevents it from getting stuck. Surprisingly, they are so soft that they can even roll over a person without causing harm. For motorcyclists, there are pants with a built-in airbag. Called CX Easy Rider, it features a system that activates in milliseconds in the event of a fall. The airbag protects the hips, pelvis, and knees without impeding movement. It's also water and abrasion resistant, proving that fashion can also save lives. In Japan, a restaurant on the verge of closure was saved thanks to a group of stray cats. The owner adopted one, and more soon arrived, inspiring the creation of a themed restaurant. Now, customers enjoy food while the felines stroll among miniature train models. The place went viral and is now a tourist hit. There is a bracelet called Shark Bands that repels sharks using magnets. These animals detect electric fields to hunt, and the device generates a magnetic field that makes them uncomfortable. Although it doesn't guarantee absolute safety, it greatly reduces the risks for surfers and divers. It is lightweight, saltwater resistant, and has scientific backing. An Australian man named James Harrison became famous as the man with the golden arm. After receiving transfusions in his youth, he began donating blood regularly. His plasma contained a unique antibody that saved millions of babies with blood incompatibility problems. With more than 1,000 donations during his lifetime, he became an unsung hero of medicine. The emerald slug seems like something out of a science fiction experiment. This marine mollusk feeds on algae, but instead of digesting them, it steals their chloroplasts. Thanks to this, it can photosynthesize and produce energy like a plant. It can survive for months without food, living solely on sunlight. The Yoto player is an audio player designed for children without screens, cameras, or microphones. It works with physical cards that activate stories, music, or podcasts, keeping little ones away from digital overstimulation. It also serves as an alarm clock, nightlight, and thermometer. In Rome, the sky was lit up by 500 drones that drew the figure of Superman over Castel Sant'Angelo. The spectacle was held in honor of the premiere of a new film about the hero. Thousands of people were fascinated by the blend of technology, art, and historical heritage. It was like seeing the superhero actually fly over the Eternal City. In Canada, there's Spotted Lake, which partially evaporates in the summer, leaving colorful spots on its surface. These formations are due to the concentration of minerals such as sodium, calcium, and magnesium. For indigenous peoples, each circle had healing properties. At first glance, it looks like a landscape from another planet. In Argentina, the alligator tree grows. the only tree on the planet with edible wood. Its soft trunk, rich in water and devoid of cellulose, can be transformed into desserts and gourmet products. An engineer patented a process to make it suitable for consumption without losing nutrients. Today, it's used in alfajores, chocolates, and even jams. In China, a project seemingly straight out of science fiction is underway. An underwater tunnel to connect two cities. Each module measures about 541 feet long and 151 feet wide, and engineers plan to assemble 32 of them on the seabed. The journey, which previously took 140 minutes, will be reduced to just 20, thanks to the precision of the super vessel, which places each piece with the help of satellites and sensors. It will be the widest tunnel in the world, another record for Chinese engineering. The PlayStation 2, launched in 2000, remains the best-selling console in history. With more than 155 million units sold, it won over gamers with its extensive catalog and the novelty of playing DVDs at home. Furthermore, its durability made it a long-lasting technological gem. In 2023, the art collective MSCHF unveiled the world's smallest bag. It's a microscopic bag inspired by a Louis Vuitton model, measuring just micrometers. So tiny that it can only be appreciated with a digital microscope. It was auctioned for $63,750. A piece of art that will never be used to store anything, but it will surely surprise the world. Kitchen knives are not all the same, even if they seem that way at first glance. There are chef's knives for chopping vegetables, santoku knives for precise cuts, and filleting knives for meat and fish. Others, like the bread knife, have a serrated edge, while the lace cutter and peeler are used for fruit and decorations. The Chimelong Space Science Park in China is a giant of indoor fun. With an investment of $1.4 billion, it has earned 7 Guinness World Records, including the world's largest aquarium and the largest indoor artificial wave. Their technology combines with immersive experiences that blend play and learning, a place that redefines the idea of a theme park. The human body holds surprising contrasts. The sperm is the smallest cell, measuring just about 0.002 inches. In contrast, the egg is the largest, at about 0.006 inches, and is the only cell visible to the naked eye. Two extremes that complement each other in the creation of life. In 1708, the San Jose galleon sank off Cartagena de Indias, laden with gold and silver. Its treasure, valued at more than $20 billion, is being claimed by several countries. Spain is claiming it because it is a ship in its fleet, Colombia because it is located in its waters, and Bolivia because the metals came from mines exploited in its territory. Nowadays, portable laser projectors are sold that can display hologram-like images on the ground. Many use them to project Pokémon figures that appear to follow your car or motorcycle. They cost less than $70 and are available online. The Iberian lynx was on the verge of extinction in the 1990s. Its main food, rabbits, suffered a sharp decline, and it was also the victim of traps and poisons. Thanks to conservation programs, the population has exceeded 2,000 individuals. However, it is still in danger of extinction, although increasingly closer to recovery. By the time we feel thirsty, we have already lost between 1% and 2% of our body water. The brain then sends signals to release hormones that help retain fluids and maintain balance. This natural reaction protects us from dehydration. One of the most surprising innovations in parenting is the Revolve Smart Crib. This device uses sensors, microphones, and even radar to monitor the baby's health. It also soothes the little one with automatic movements and captures special moments. It even offers personalized advice for parents and protects privacy with encryption systems. There are already more than 4.7 billion mobile phones in circulation on the planet. That's more than 100 million devices than there are people, demonstrating their importance in modern life. They're not only used to communicate, but also to pay, work, and entertain ourselves. These devices have become an inseparable extension of our daily routines. There's a device called a mouth pad that fits in the mouth and allows you to control devices with your tongue. It works like an internal touchpad, ideal for people with limited mobility. It's also being exploited by gamers who use it to quickly execute additional movements. A strange technology, but one that opens unexpected doors. A dog became famous for carefully uprooting the plants in his owner's garden. He didn't make a mess, he simply removed each one as if he knew what he was doing. It's believed he was looking for space to play, avoiding later problems. A prank so organized it even seems like an act of thoughtfulness. In 2023, the Alice plane made its first fully electric commercial flight. Designed for 9 passengers, it runs solely on batteries and promises a drastic reduction in emissions and costs. Although it faces challenges in terms of range, it marks a huge change in aviation. The future of flying could be quieter, greener, and more economical. The microwave oven was born thanks to an oversight. In 1945, Percy Spencer was working with radar and noticed that a chocolate bar in his pocket had melted. He experimented with popcorn and eggs, and thus a revolutionary invention was born. At first, it was expensive and bulky, but over time, it became indispensable in every kitchen. The first personal alarm clock was invented by Levi Hutchins in 1787 in the United States. Curiously, it could only go off at 4 a.m., with no option to set it for a later time. Hutchins designed it solely to get up on time for work, never imagining that his creation would pave the way for modern alarm clocks. A simple idea that shaped the routines of millions of people. A graduate student in Italy named Julian Melchiori developed the first human-made biological leaf. This marvel mimics the function of a real plant, absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen. The surprising thing is that it doesn't require special soil or nutrients, making it ideal for use on space missions. In zero gravity, it could be the key to breathing on other planets. The Statue of Liberty wasn't always just a tourist symbol. For 16 years, beginning in 1886, it served as a beacon to guide ships arriving in New York. Its lights reached up to about 23.6 miles, welcoming immigrants to freedom. However, in 1902, when its lighting systems proved ineffective, that function was abandoned. The hummingbird, despite being a master of flight, cannot walk. Its legs are short and only serve to cling to branches, not to move like other birds. In return, it has the unique ability to fly backward, hover in the air, and move with pinpoint precision. It is a true winged acrobat of nature. The animated series Tom and Jerry, released in 1940, not only brought laughter to generations, it also made history. Throughout its run, it won 7 Oscars, an unbeaten record in the world of animated shorts. Amazon generates an average of 15 million euros per hour in sales. If its website were to go down for a whole day, the loss would reach 360 million euros. This figure shows the magnitude of the e-commerce giant and the dependence that millions of people have on its daily services. It is said that fish in fish tanks don't get bored because they barely remember things for 2 minutes. For them, each return is like a new experience. Even so, aquariums enriched with plants and hiding places improve their well-being. Although they forget quickly, they need stimulation to stay active and healthy. Artificial clouds have been created to help combat climate change. By dispersing particles in the atmosphere, they reflect the sun's rays to cool the planet. They can even produce rain by releasing water vapor. What seems like science fiction is already being studied as a possible solution to the climate crisis. In New Zealand, an organization trained abandoned dogs to drive cars. The training lasts 7 weeks and follows steps similar to those learned by humans. Although it seems like a joke, the dogs demonstrated that they could start, accelerate, and brake. Beyond the spectacle, the initiative seeks to demonstrate animal intelligence. There's a curious body proportion. The length of your foot almost exactly matches the distance between your wrist and elbow. It's not a universal rule, but it's true for most people. Here's a simple test you can do at home. In the 18th century, a Russian woman named Valentina Vasilyeva set an impressive record. She gave birth to 69 children in 27 births. Among them were sets of twins, triplets, and quadruplets. Surprisingly, 67 survived infancy. Their case is recorded in the Guinness Book of World Records. Scooby-Doo, more than just a fun series, had a hidden purpose. Its creators wanted to show that the real monsters weren't supernatural creatures, but people with evil intentions. Behind every costumed villain was a human, sending a moral message disguised as mystery. Piranhas don't just bite, they also make sounds. Scientists have discovered that they make barking noises when competing or defending food. They are normally silent, but during confrontations they produce 3 different types of sounds. In Japan, falling asleep in public is not frowned upon. On the contrary, it's considered a sign that a person is working very hard. The term inamuri literally means sleeping present and reflects commitment to work. A nap on the subway can be a symbol of dedication. In Trondheim, Norway, they invented a type of escalator for cyclists. It's called the cyclo-cable and allows you to climb hills without pedaling at a speed of about 1.9 miles per hour. You just have to place one foot on the platform and let yourself be pushed. It even works for baby strollers. Starbucks allocates $300 million a year to health insurance for its employees. Interestingly, it spends more on this benefit than on coffee. The investment improves employee satisfaction and strengthens its public image as a socially responsible company. The Human Library is a social project originating in Denmark. Instead of books, people are loaned to tell their life stories for 30 minutes. The idea seeks to break down prejudices and foster empathy through dialogue. A unique experience that transforms conversation into living literature. The laughter of foxes is a fascinating natural phenomenon. Although many think it sounds like a human laugh, it's actually a strange mix of crying and laughter. It is used primarily during mating season, helping to mark territory and communicate. The most curious thing is that it varies in duration and intensity, depending on the species and social context. In the ocean, there is a truly shocking parasite, Cymothoa exigua, known as the tongue-eating louse. This tiny crustacean settles in the mouth of a fish, sucks its blood, and causes the tongue to atrophy until it disappears. Surprisingly, the parasite develops into a functional tongue that doesn't seriously harm the fish. Although it may seem incredible, it is possible to live without a significant portion of the brain. In many medical cases, half or more of the organ has had to be removed to treat drug-resistant epilepsy. The surprising thing is that after these operations, some people can lead normal lives without losing memory or personality. However, depending on the area removed, after effects such as mobility, vision, or speech problems may appear. In New Zealand, there lives an incredible insect called the weta, capable of freezing in winter and thawing in spring. During the coldest months, its body can withstand up to 80% of its tissue freezing. Then, when the weather improves, it simply comes back to life as if nothing had happened. The design of the Oscars could be inspired by a Mexican actor. According to legend, the model was Emilio El Indio Fernandez, who posed at the request of his friend, actress Dolores Del Rio. His broad-shouldered, narrow-waisted build served as the reference for the golden statuette. The Academy has never officially confirmed it, but the rumor has become part of film history. Frogs have a unique defense mechanism when they eat something poisonous. Their extremely sensitive stomach doesn't try to digest the toxin. Instead, the frog literally pushes its stomach out of the body. Once the poison is eliminated, it reinserts it, and the muscles lock it back into place. A survival trick as strange as it is effective. The thousand-hand dance is one of the most beautiful expressions of performance art. It originated in China as a tribute to the Buddhist figure of Guanyin, the goddess of compassion. It is performed by groups of deaf-mute dancers who, strictly following their guides, create a stunning visual effect. Wearing costumes that simulate extra arms, their synchronized movements seem to multiply limbs in a hypnotic spectacle. The name of the famous spy James Bond came about in a very peculiar way. Writer Ian Fleming wanted his character to have a common, boring name to contrast with the agent's exciting life. While looking through an ornithology book, he came across the name of a real investigator, James Bond. By repeating the surname, he achieved a memorable effect that ended up marking the history of cinema and literature. Liechtenstein is one of the smallest countries in the world. It's barely about 15.5 miles long and 2.5 miles wide, so it can be explored in less than a day on foot. Located in the Alps, it combines mountainous landscapes with a fairy tale atmosphere. Its capital, Vaduz, is the ideal starting point. It is said that the Roman Emperor Caligula declared war on the sea god Neptune. He ordered his soldiers to attack the ocean, sticking spears in the water. Although it may seem like historical nonsense, the anecdote has gone down as one of the most famous eccentricities of his reign. Cockroaches can survive up to 9 days without a head. Their nervous system is distributed throughout the body, allowing them to move and react. They eventually die not from decapitation, but from lack of food and water, an example of the amazing resilience of these insects.